We are live. Welcome, guys, back to the channel, the Earle Sports Bet Show, trade deadline edition. I was going to start at 3 o'clock. We're about 13 minutes early. Why? Because I just got the update from Underdog MLB saying Justin Verlander is heading to the Houston Astros. What's going in the opposite way? I don't know yet. All we got is that Justin Verlander will be a Houston Astro once again. And we'll see how that goes. That's interesting to see. I kind of wanted to see him go to Baltimore because I know a couple prospects there that I want from Baltimore. Anyways, but we'll start off the show with Justin Verlander heading to Houston to reunite with the Astros. Oh boy. Well, yeah. That's how you stop, Gio. We drop right in with a bomb of the news. So that's kind of fun. We'll be live from now until the trade deadline ends at 6 o'clock, breaking down all the trades that go on, what this means for the certain teams, and how that's going to go. So definitely an interesting start to the show with Justin Verlander heading back to Houston. I'm posting up on Twitter and stuff. Trade deadline live show hashtag MLB. All right. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should put the link to the stream in there. Shout out Mr. Razor Sharp Picks. Razor, I if you're interested, that helps out your Houston Astros futures. If you're interested, I'll send you the link. I'm going to send it out to a bunch of people because it's not going to just be me and Nick talking for 3 hours. That would get boring after a while. So if you're interested, I'm sending links out to a bunch of people. If you wanna hop on and talk some trade deadline, figure I'd throw that one out to you. Sorry, I was not fully ready to go live. I just had to jump on as soon as I saw the Verlander news. What happened to this morning show? Me and my brother figured, hey, we're gonna have a bunch of trade deadline stuff, so we'll end up talking over some of the games now as we're looking at trade deadline, and we'll go from there. We didn't want to do a whole entire breakdown when we knew we were going to be live for 3 hours later on. So we'll see how that goes. Still waiting to see what the Mets got in return for Justin Verlander. Houston Astros starting rotation is going to include JV, Framber Valdez, Christian Javier, Hunter Brown, JP France, and then Jose Urquidy should be back soon, so that should be interesting. Markel, what's good? We still got nothing. Mets sec again. Well, we'll see what they get in return. I want to see what they get in return for it, but the Mets are not having a good season. Yes, that is correct, Razor. But we knew that. If Mets could trade Showalter, that would be the best move that they've made in years. Yeah. He won't be with the Mets next year, that's for sure. So I guarantee that he will not be a Met come next year. Send it out. And we'll quickly. Valdez to record a win plus 130 today. I'm personally leaning towards the Cleveland side, but that's just because I can't fade my boy, Zach Gallen. Not Zach Gallen. Wow. Who's also pitching today. Gavin Williams. I'm not really interested in fading Gavin today. So we'll see. You bet the Yankees today. I bet the over in the Yankees game. I bet the over in the Yankees game. I do not trust Rodon. He's had one good start this year since coming back from the injury list, and that's against the Mets. So we know how much that is worth. It's worth. So I'm not high on him. I think the Rays score runs on him. And as much as I love Zach Eflin, I have a Cy Young ticket on Zach Eflin. He's on the road. He's not at home. He's got a 5.36 ERA at home on the road compared to a 2.6. So I don't know if I would necessarily lean Blue Jays, Tampa. I'm not really looking at a side. I just see runs in this game. Well, gambler's first glance is the Yankees. I don't hate it. I would love to see the Blue Jays and the Rays all lose games so that my Oriole futures really, really can look good. But I'm personally not touching a side in that game. I went over in it. So that's what we're rocking with there. I'm trying to figure out. Jeff Passan would be a good guy to have on here. Sorry, going through Twitter stuff. Having his notifications on. What else have we had today? Paul DeYoung to the Blue Jays, which is interesting. Dick Mountain and G-Man Choi to the Padres. Reds and A's making trades for whatever reason. Pollock to AJ Pollock to the Giants. Nothing really too crazy yet today, and I'm still waiting to see what the heck we got back from Verlander. But what else has gotten on today? Brad Hand to the Braves. Nah. So nothing too crazy yet. We'll see what's going on with that. Personally, for my plays, okay, Lenny will be on at 5, if anybody's wondering. That's what he texted me saying that. So there you go. Other plays I'm looking at today. Astros are sending over 2 minor leaguers. Oh boy, that's it. So I guess we didn't have to eat contract. You like Rangers run line today? Yeah, sure. That's fine. What you are wondering? That's fine. That's fine. By the way, Dave, I sent the link if you're interested in hopping on. Munchie, good morning. Good morning. Still just waiting for some more trade deadline news, and we go from there. I like the over in the Marlins game. Real quick, over in Marlins, the over in the Rays game. I like the Orioles today, along with the over. It's Hyun-Jin Ryu making his first start in a year and a half. Not really interested in that. I like the over in Atlanta, along with kind of looking towards the Angels again. We're on the Twins today. Cubs run line. Kind of leaning Texas Rangers run line. I'm probably going to add that to my card, considering that the White Sox are probably going to probably looking at that. I like Gavin Williams. I'll grab the plus 150 with him. I'm on the over in the Kansas City game along with the Mets run line. I like Seattle and Arizona. And I'm waiting for a dang line on that Oakland game because I want to take Oakland plus the 1 million. So I'm waiting for that to come out as well. So let's quickly go ahead and add the Rangers onto my card. Fading White Sox. Why get a player to give them back to the same team? Because the Mets thought they were going to be good this year, and they were not. Astros not touching Mets anymore. Don't know where the motivation at today. Astros not touching Mets anymore. Don't know where the motivation at today. That was almost English. Almost English. Baltimore. What about Baltimore? I like Baltimore. I think Baltimore has a good chance to sweep the Blue Jays. So yes, I like Baltimore. A lot of today's show is going to be me scrolling through Twitter, seeing if we have any updates on anything. So. Mike coming on soon too. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. Trying to just scroll through to see if we had anything. Mets will receive an outfielder, Drew Gilbert, from the Astros and deal for Verlander and at least one other prospect not known how much money the Mets will send to Houston. It's according to a guy named Mark Fenestand. Take a shot. I don't have any alcohol near me. So I don't have anything at the moment. Oh, Taj Bradley got. Oh no, that's yesterday. Taj Bradley optioned down at AAA. Rockies game over 12.5. I don't really like going after Rocky overs. What's the thing for today? TBD. I don't even have a pitcher for San Diego yet. So I don't really know if I don't know. It's the only Stros prospect. Their number one prospect. All right, Mets got the number one prospect from Houston. That's good to see. Houston Astros prospects. Top prospects. Yeah, Drew Gilbert. Let's look him up. He is expected in 2025, so that's not really that helpful right now. Although he is the number one. He is in Double-A at the moment. He's a left-hander. Outfield, he was the 28th overall pick in the 2022 draft. Wow. And he was probably out of high school. Okay. Interesting. We'll see how that one goes. Career so far this year in Double-A, he's batting .241, an OPS of 342, 371 slugging, 713 on base in 60 games, 224 at bats, 54 hits, 36 runs, 11 doubles, 6 homers, 20 RBIs, 33 walks, 46 strikeouts. Yikes. So he's got to get some of that down, but we'll see how that one goes. Yeah, that's probably not a fun pickup. We'll see how that goes. You're telling me you like Mets run line? I do. I don't like Zach Greinke. I just don't like Zach Greinke, so we'll skip them. Any big trades yet? Just got here. Verlander to the Astros for at least Drew Gilbert, which is the Astros' number one prospect, and we'll see from there. I believe he was the number 68 prospect in baseball. He's 22, so not out of high school. Got it. And I'm trying to see where he went to college then. That would be let's look up more on Drew Gilbert. Oh, he went to Tennessee. All right. That's fun. Oh, and he was in the Futures game. He was American League Futures team. There you go. All right. I don't hate it. I want to see what else we get. And if we're getting that stuff, then we better not have eaten any contract. So that's not a bad prospect for right now. So there we go. Still trying to figure out what else is going on today. I have a feeling that most of the trades have already kind of gone down. I know the Mets still are trying to trade Tommy Pham. So that's still a trade that can go down. White Sox are open to trade everybody, and so should the Cardinals. So we'll see with that. We took Guardians first 5. Yep, you know them O's. Yes, sir. -1.5, and nice. Going to add Rangers first 5 plus -1.5 plus monies, and full game -1.5. I like it. That works. I like the Guardians today. I think Gavin has a good day. You called on Orioles last night. I've been on the Orioles all year. They're the most profitable team in baseball. They're the most profitable road team in baseball. This is a Baltimore team that's 65-41, so 24 games over 500. Number 1 team in the American League, and they're getting close to the number 1 team in baseball in general. They're the most profitable team in baseball by about 1.5 units over Cincinnati, and they are the most profitable road team in baseball by about a little over a unit by Cincinnati as well. Number 3 for most profitable teams is Washington. That's interesting. And right now, that's not really helpful. Baltimore 65-41, 67-37. So about 2 games behind the Atlanta Braves for the best team in baseball. Orioles are playing some good baseball right now, so that's good to see. All right, here's the full thing. Deal is done. Astros receive Justin Verlander. Mets receive Drew Gilbert and Ryan Clifton, which is the number 4 prospect for the Houston Astros. He's an outfielder right now on the Asheville Tourist. It's high A ball. Let's see. Clifton played for national teams 12. I want to see more about Ryan Clifton. He's an outfielder. So 2 guys that are just way not even close to that. One should be up next. Drew Gilbert should be up next year. Ryan Clifton's projected 2025. Ryan Clifton in high A affiliate ball. He's a bats left, throws left, outfielder, 6'3", 200 pounds, 20 years old, out of Raleigh, North Carolina. No shit. Pro 5 Academy in Apex, North Carolina. Oh, shit. All right. I see you. Ryan Clifton. Why does that name sound familiar? Interesting. But he won't be up for a while. He looks familiar. Huh. Where is Pro 5 Academy? Yankees, Rays, what are you thinking? I like the over. I like the over. Pro 5. Oh, they're affiliates with ECU. Nice. Where's it? Yo. I know exactly where they're at. That is awesome. Oh, okay. Yep. They're a ting. Okay. All right. I know exactly where where he went to high school. Anyways, sorry, I saw that. I had to look deeper. Let's see how many people are reacting to this stupidly. Yeah, they're number 1 and number 4 prospect. We'll take it for Verlander. And it doesn't look like we had to eat any of the contract. So, because it doesn't say anything with money. Oh, he was the one with the dirty bat flip in freaking Tennessee. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. I know who he is. Yep. I know who Gilbert is. There you go. I like to see it. You like to see it. Most of the guys are going to be up next year, but that's cool. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, so we've been live for about 21 minutes and just me talking about this Verlander trade. Cool. And I broke down quickly the games that we kind of talked about. Gross a volunteer. All right. Let me quickly post out this. Live. Let me grab the link to my show. I'm gonna send it out to the group chats. Philadelphia. I like the over in Philadelphia. Yeah, I'm just Sandy Alcantara is not particularly good against teams in the NL East, and I think that Ranger Suarez is definitely hittable. So I'll go with the over in that game. And you like the Yankees? I lean Yankees. I like the over in that game, just because it's road Zach Eflin who is not particularly trustworthy. And Rodon has had one good start since coming back from his injury, and that was against the Mets. So not really too sold on that. My 3-team parlay: Philly, Yankee, and Baltimore. I like it. I think that's a pretty strong one. The Astros were very reluctant to part with Ryan Clifton. It's easy to see why. He's already ranking a high A, going to take them in the 11th round last year. Just turned 20 within the last 2 weeks. Yeah, he should be really, really solid. Yeah, the Mets got the number 1 and number 4 prospect from the Astros in exchange for a 40-year-old. Yep, we'll take it. We will take it. And he wasn't really even having that good of a year, so all day. Yeah, NFL Network, you're stupid. What else we got? Oh yeah, there's the official deal with that. Reds, Phillies, moneyline parlay cash yesterday. Running back, no. I like the Cubbies today. I'm excited to see Clifton next year. Sorry, a lot of this show. Eventually, Nick will be joining us. They're doing a what do you call it show? They're doing a CFL show, and he'll be on soon. Let's text Nick, telling him we can invite Terry. Not really a lot going on today in terms of games, because I'm still waiting for a couple of trades and stuff, but we do have a nice card. I have a bunch of WNBA up as well. I never really tracked any of my plays today, but it is what it is. I'll track that later. Yeah, no, there was no chance. Oh, God. Just trying to see what else is going. Let's do this. I've got all the stuff, all the different people up. Mets have gotten a lot of good prospects. So what they have done is they have paid for prospect pools. So far, from the 4 trades, we got rid of Scherzer, Verlander, Robertson, Kana, and we got Luis Angel, Acuna, Drew Gilbert, Ryan Clifton, Marco Vargas, Ronald Hernandez, and Justin Jarvis. That's really good haul back for a bunch of rental pieces. So yeah. I'm totally. This year was kind of a flop anyway, so totally cool with them building the farm system back up. Didn't make a bet yesterday. Sometimes it's okay not to. Best bet today. I don't have the Instagram play of the day today. I would say if I had a best one, it would be Baltimore. Maybe I could still do Baltimore. But Nick kind of has to want to agree with it too, so I can't really. He's big on. Who do you call it? I'm waiting for the freaking line for the Oakland game to come out because I want to bet the Athletics. With Lance Lynn starting for the Dodgers. No, that's biased. What? Biased? No. I'm not a. I'd probably say maybe the over in the Rays game. I like the over in the Rays game. That's my best bet then. But that's kind of where I'm going, which is fine. Tweets. Do we have any more? Any new updates? No, nothing. Did I hear wave? Yes, ride the wave. Let's get it. Totally, 100% ride the wave. I'm down for that. Then they're gonna probably be at a nice price. Just gotta wait for it to come up. So. By the way, WNBA today. I'll quickly give it out. Let's see if I've beaten some line movements in it. WNBA. I've got the over in the Minnesota game at 161.5. It's here. It's 162.5, 163 area. So nice. I got the under in the Indiana game at 160.5. It's sitting at 158, 159. Nice. 176.5. The over in the Vegas game. I'm seeing 177.5 to 178. And I'm on the LA +9. Now it's sitting at 8.5. So beat Limewitz on all of them. That means I'm going to lose. Cool. Those are kind of your that's the WNBA plays. I will say we've locked in one NFL bet already up on the site for week 1 of the NFL season, and that is the Cleveland Browns. So happy with that, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna track my plays: under, over, Sparks, over, and then we've got in the MLB. Any more updates? Nope, nothing yet. Cool. Over in Philly. Cubbies on the run line. Boom. Over in Mets. Mets run line. Minnehaha. And Texas run line. I'm just scrolling through Twitter, hoping to see some freaking trade notifications. I want to see some stuff. Come on. Wow, Sturman's getting beat up. All right. Anything else for today so far? Doesn't look like it. There's still now about 2 hours and 40 minutes left of the trade deadline. I don't think we're going to see as much stuff as we did last year with like Juan Soto getting traded and all that stuff. I just don't see that amount of players and stuff getting moved around for this deadline as we did last deadline, but still should have some action. There should be a bunch of teams buying still, some teams selling. Curious to see what happens to most of the White Sox players, what should happen to most of the Cardinal players. See if the Baltimore decides to make a couple of moves, because I would like to see them go after some players. Maybe if they want to go ahead and trade for Tommy Pham, we'll gladly take Connor Norby off his hands. That would be fantastic. But we'll see how that one goes. I doubt that the Mets are getting Connor Norby. I know it's a hope to get an ECU guy on the team. Quickly just tracking all of my plays for today on BetStamp. So that I have everything on my app. That's 160. All right, anything new? Doesn't look like it. I don't want to see lineups, underdog. I just want to see trades. Strider over 10.5 strikeouts. Sure. I do kind of lean Angels, but they are a heavy strikeout team, and he's been insane. The fact that his strikeout total is 9.5, I remember when we used to be able to ladder up to 9.5 on some of those strikeout props. So, yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Can we see more trades? I want to see more trades. Top 4. Okay. I'm down for that. Want to see more trades. Nah, this is going to be a lot of just looking over at the screen, but it is what it is. I just want to see something. Just constantly refreshing Twitter. That's all it is. That's all it is right now. Frank is so annoying. Frank the Tank is a clown. Absolute clown. Also waiting for, Nick to eventually join the channel. So I'm going to X out a couple of my tabs because I don't need to know most of the stuff anymore. Anyone got an opinion on Hunt? No. Nope. I have zero interest in any of that stuff. We don't talk about that stuff on the channel. Just not interested in it. It can't go right. Oh, that's stupid. Mets have several minor leaguers in team hotels in Kansas City ready to fill the roster spots of players expected to be traded. However, Ronnie Mercutio is not there. Mets, what are you doing with him? Can we not? Can we pray this? No, you're good, Munchie. Two things that don't get brought up on the stream and on ESB is religion and politics, and that's it, because there's people on both sides, and I do not want to advocate for any of that stuff. But you're totally cool. They lose a map? What's going on with Heroic? Let's go check out. Oh, G2. Oh, G2 beat Fnatic. Interesting. Ends lost there. Astralis is about to beat Navi in the elimination match. Interesting. They need to bring up Wisenhunt. Giants, bring up Carson Wisenhunt. That might help out your starting pitching problems. Let me invite him on. See if he's interested. I want to send him the link. The link. Someone needs to take away Frank Fleming's freaking Twitter account for sure. He is an absolute clown. Please just take it away. We do not need to see any more of that. Come on, people, make some trades. Make some trades. Have some fun. Throw on some money. Tim, what up, Tim? Do you think Verlander will help the Astros or not much? No, he'll help the Astros. I think he will. I mean, Astros are having pitching problems right now, and getting another arm that he's starting to look better coming in. He's starting to look better his last couple of starts. So I wouldn't sell it short. And I think the Mets got a really good haul for him. Because it looks like the number one and number 4 prospect, and it's not really giving up much because we had Verlander for what, 1 extra year. I'm not really sweating it. Mets are not going to compete until probably 2025, so it is what it is, and they're just going to slowly try to build. So, we got another update. Oh, just another lineup. That's fantastic. WNBA. Yes, there's WNBA today. I'm on the under in Indiana, the over in Minnesota, the Sparks plus the 9, and the over in Atlanta. Anyone see the UFC fights on Saturday? Go Justin. Yeah, Gaethje knocked out Poirier, which was interesting. Didn't really get to see the fight. I just saw the kind of the replay. So, but I don't really bet it, so it's not really that big of a deal. Do I seriously not have any more DMs? What's going on? I can't see any DMs on my computer. Not really the time for it. There we go. Now I can see my group chats and stuff. That's good to see. I don't bet fighting. It seems to be correct. If there's something that can be determined by judges, I'm normally not too interested in going after it. So I used to bet it. I was not good at betting it. I used to play DK with it. I think I had one good DK lineup that won a couple $100, but I was never really big on UFC, so I never really got into it. I would watch fights from time to time, but never was good at it. So if I'm not good at it, I'm not good at it. As simple as that. Let's see. Are we getting any other trade updates? That would be great if we did. I love all the stuff that's like 6 years behind. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. One person put out the Mets got Marco Vargas, Luis Angel Acuna, Drew Gilbert, and Ryan Clifton for 3 pitchers that are all over 38 years old. Those 4 guys will most likely be top 100 prospects. It's a hell of a job by the Mets front office. I agree. Mets have had one of the best records the last 30 days too. So we'll see. Here we go. Here's another one. Philadelphia Phillies are in agreement on a trade that will acquire right-handed starting pitcher Michael Lorenzen from the Detroit Tigers in exchange for Hung-Yu Lee, which is the Philadelphia Phillies' number 5 prospect, according to MLB Pipeline. Michael Lorenzen was an all-star this year, the only all-star. He was the representative for the Tigers. What can we get? What can we know about Hung-Yu Lee? Let's go look him up to see what the Tigers are getting out of it. If it's the number 5 prospect for the Phillies, then I think they got a good thing there. He was wow. He's 20 years old. Never mind. I saw 2003. He's 20 years old. Right-handed thrower, right-handed batter, second baseman. He's 5'9", 190 pounds. He was playing on the Jersey. He was on the Jersey Shore Blue Claws, which is the High A affiliate to the Philadelphia Phillies. He did play in the ROK, which is, I'm guessing, some type of different league overseas. This year so far, he has played for 2 teams, rookie ball and High A, mostly in High A, 64 games, 147 at bats, 70 hits, 35 runs, 12 doubles, 5 home runs, a triple, 26 RBIs, 29 walks, 53 strikeouts, 14 stolen bases, a 283 average, 372 base percentage, 401 slugging, 733 OPS in High A ball. So not a bad pickup. It could be, well, obviously with a lot of these prospects, we don't know exactly what we're going to get out of it. So Philadelphia Phillies getting Michael Lorenzen from the Detroit Tigers in exchange for Hung-Yu Lee, number 5 overall prospect for the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, guys, I know you guys have been listening to me for a while. We finally get our first guest on the show. You good to go? You good to go. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring in Mr. Moose. We got some trade deadline talk, and we got somebody from the east side. I know we got to see the Padres made a big move today, getting Dick Mountain and G-Man Choi. So you must be super stoked about that. Just to let you know, you are muted. Just so that you are muted.
Oh, there we go. We're good.
There you go.
I did a badass cricket noise that I'm not sure anybody heard. So
nope, you were completely muted.
I'll do it again. I'll run it back. Dude, what?
What?
Why? Like, okay. So you need a left-handed bat, like somebody that's right-handed batters or right-handed pitching. So does a guy that is a career 245 hitter versus right-handed pitching, currently hitting 224 right now versus right-handed pitching, hit 223 versus right-handed pitching last year, is that the solution?
Yes, totally.
No, fuck. Oh my dude, I swear. And then you bring in Rich Hill, who's an innings eater.
Dick Mountain.
No, he's not Dick Mountain here in San Diego. All right, we're on the coast. We don't really have mountains. We have plateaus. We have hills. So Dick Hill maybe coming in. But I mean, if you're gonna have an inning eater for a team trying to contend, like that doesn't happen like a lot, like ever. Usually your inning eaters come to teams that are trading away pieces and like, oh shit, we just traded away 2 of our young guys to a contender. So we're going to need to have somebody because none of our minor leaguers are prepared to fill that role. But if you're contending, like that process doesn't make sense. So currently Padres have an F in my book on how they're doing this today. I do like the Mets are playing it smart right now that they're selling their pieces because you guys were going to be in for a rough time next year when you have an aged Scherzer and aged Verlander expiring contracts. So I think it was a good move on your guys' part. I think the Lorenzen deal that just went down that I heard you referring to.
Yes.
I think that's a solid move for the Phillies. I think that's a solid move for them because they needed some of that third, fourth option. And when Lorenzen pitches well, dude, he could absolutely be that guy, especially if Christian Sanchez continues to pitch to form, or if Taijuan Walker starts kind of reestablishing himself, is able to get control of that splitter a little bit more. So there's some clear winners today from just the trade perspective, but I think there's also a very obvious loser in all this, and the Orioles are an obvious loser right now.
They just haven't done anything yet,
and they have to. If they're trying to make a playoff push, they need to. I mean, they need that front nine starter.
Hey, Baltimore, we have a Tommy Pham for you if you're interested.
I thought Tommy Pham just got traded to didn't he get traded to the Phillies?
No, Michael Lorenzen did.
I
haven't seen anything on Tommy Pham yet.
I thought I saw Pham was actually traded.
Unless I totally missed it. I don't think I would have missed something with the Mets because my group chat would have let me know about it.
No, you're right.
Okay. I was about to say, I don't think I missed anything with Tommy Pham.
Nothing close, but Twins have checked in on Pham, and deals are said to be gaining momentum.
I was really hoping Verlander would go to Baltimore.
Yeah, that could have been a good fit. With all those young guys.
I was also looking to try to steal Connor Norby off their hands, but
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they got. I mean, fuck, Mets got a good haul.
I'm definitely happy with the Mets. Got 4 prospects that are going to most likely be in the top 101 prospect pool in baseball. So the Mets farm system, essentially, they paid a shit ton of money for a better farm system.
Yeah.
Well, then they'll end up paying a crap ton of money over the offseason for more players. So
I was literally just going to say, like,
I'm not even worried about losing players because all of a sudden no Max Scherzer, no Verlander. All of a sudden over the offseason, we'll bring in Ohtani, maybe Snell, or Ohtani probably stays out there, but maybe we got Snell or somebody else free agent wise and go from there. There's plenty of bats that are going to be available. Steve Cohen will open up his wallet and they'll still be they're not going to be good next year. I don't expect the Mets to be competitive next year, but 2025 should be the year.
But at least it's set up. Like it's going in the right direction. Because if it was decided to hold on to Scherzer, hold on to Verlander, it would have been essentially like, this is going to be our team. This is our core. But a core means it's locked up. Like a core means
our core is Nimmo, Lindor, McNeil, hopefully Alonso after this year. They can lock him into something.
Yeah, but he's not yet.
They're taking trade requests for him too.
Yeah, I heard the Padres were actually involved in the Alonso Verlander sweepstakes.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything more on Alonso. I'm really hoping they don't trade him.
I don't know what you.
I don't really see the point in trading him unless you really get something good.
Yeah,
like we would want a top 5 prospect in baseball.
Or somebody
that's Holiday.
Yeah, somebody that's already up and already performing. Like if the Reds, which actually that would kind of make sense. That would be one of the teams you'd go like, oh, all right. If the Reds sent Encarnacion to you guys and maybe Graham Ashcraft and
Ashcraft. Yeah, and a couple
other guys like that actually could
keep in mind it would be a rental. The only problem is Alonso's got his contract expires at the end of the year.
Then he'd come back.
Yeah,
and that's why I feel like that'd be if you guys got something like that done, that'd be a great trade. I'd be super pumped about that for you guys. And today hasn't been one of those trade deadlines where you're just like, whoa, oh my god. It's been kind of like, okay, all right, I see how that works. I've made sense of pretty much every single trade that's come through today. Kind of like, okay, I see what's going on here, except my team. My team's trade is the only one where it's just like, what's going on? What are we doing here? Because what's crazy about the Choi is that Padres Twitter is all over his power numbers because he has great power numbers versus right-handed pitching. But I'll give you the floor here. Can you potentially name the last time a Padres trade piece came over in a trade for the Padres, had their power numbers surge or even sustained their power numbers?
The last time the Phillies got somebody that their power numbers got better in San Diego?
No, in San Diego. Yeah. Soto? Nope. Soto came over, immediate regression. Brandon Drury, immediate regression. Josh Bell, immediate regression. Xander Bogaerts, immediate regression. Manny Machado, immediate regression. Mitch Moreland, immediate regression.
No, it doesn't work.
The power does not play here. Like if you're coming over here, you have to be a solid contact piece. You have to be a guy that is able to work gap to gap because that's just how the schematics of our field work. The ball is flying more, but it is still very much a pitcher's park. It is still very much catered to the under. And if you're bringing a guy in that his claim to fame is, he hits for power versus right-handed pitching, but you correlate that to his low average. I mean, if I told you, all right, who had the better overall numbers last year versus right-handed pitching last year, Matt Carpenter or He-Man Choi?
I don't even know Matt Carpenter's numbers.
Dude, he hit 295. He hit 295 against right-handed pitching last year. Yeah, he was great. And then you get Choi in here, who's a 245 career and 223 average versus right-handed pitching. So that's not changing anything. I think the Padres team got worse today. I don't think it got better at all. I think it somehow got worse because you're now taking away innings from potential lower minor league guys that could come up, and you could just check and see what you got. Like, all right, let's give Jackson Wolf a little bit more time up here. Instead, he's gone. He's out to Pittsburgh. Like, all right, let's see.
Did Jackson Wolf make appearances in the MLB?
He made one start against Detroit.
That's right. We were on him too. On him too.
He pitched poorly in the first inning, but he was very adamant.
And then they ended up winning that game like 13-3.
Yeah, but his nerves, he was like, dude, it felt different. Like, that's the first time I stepped on the mound and had that kind of uneasiness. I forget what the term he used, but like, it's like, yeah, let's see what he's got. Like, we don't need to see what Dick Mountain's got. We know what he is.
Yeah, he's been on 13 teams. That's tied for the second most in baseball. The only person who's gotten on more teams is Edwin Jackson. So,
yeah. I think you're right. Holy shit. I was trying to think, like, 14. Okay.
I saw the stat today. So,
yeah, because I always keep thinking Tom Gordon's in there for some reason, but Tom Gordon did not play for that many teams.
No.
So, last thing I'll say about if you guys want a good laugh, you can go to the Padres homepage. And like they have a little clip of when Hill played the Phillies and had a good game. It's hanging breaking ball, call off the inside edge that he gets the pitch for, pitch right down the middle. It's like, that is not impressive in any way, shape, or form. Like, that's not like what you want to do. It'd be like you're like, oh, dude, we're gonna go to a really, really good steakhouse, and then you throw like the Sizzler steaks up there. So. Moving on, I'd much rather talk about other teams here, anyways.
Real quick, Donnie's asking, how do you approach this day gambling-wise? With teams selling, is it automatic fade, for example? That's why I kind of waited till later on in the day to really try to get a gauge of what I wanted to look at. And yeah, you try to fade some of the teams that you really think are going to make some moves. But at the end of the day, it's like one or two players, and most of the time it's not a big deal because most of the time, if the team thinks the pitcher is going to get traded, they're not starting today. So you don't have to worry about that. Most of the time, the team's got some minor leaguers or something in a hotel room ready to go. That's what That's what I saw from the Mets is they had some minor league players in hotel rooms waiting to fill the slots. Ronnie Mercutio was not one of them, which is stupid. But
I thought he was.
No,
he's not in there. Oh, that's fucking stupid.
What are you waiting for? What are we waiting for?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
That's
like the Mariners.
Most obvious. I'd say that's the most obvious of any move that you could do if you're the Mets. It's like, all right, we're selling off all these pieces. Time for the future. All right, let's bring up some of our best prospects. But instead, I guess they're sheltering him for whatever reason.
I don't get it.
I don't. But I'm not sure what the anticipated future is for Mauricio, but like I'm not like projected wise. Like, is he supposed to be?
He's one of our top prospects.
Yeah, but is he supposed to be is he supposed to be like your top of the lineup, immediate impact contributor, or is he supposed to be kind of he has a few very good skill sets and they translate well to the big leagues, but there's still development that needs to happen?
Yeah, I think he would play more of a role like what Mark Vientos is going through right now.
Okay.
For right now, and then I think he can make his way up more.
Usable. Usable.
Yeah, he's definitely usable. He's got power. I saw him play in Durham, which he did not have a good series in Durham. I think he finally got he hit like a home run in the last game or whatever, but he did not have a good series in Durham. Oh boy, who let him in?
And also,
it's my own damn channel. I can join.
Right. And also to address that question, the teams that get big trade pieces are generally bet on.
Yes.
Generally, but only for that one game. And then like kind of when it happens, you can kind of start to fade them because it's that excitement of like, hey, this is our team, this is our new team. And then it's the reality of, all right, how are all these pieces fitting together?
Yep.
And that can take time.
It's a honeymoon stage.
Exactly. There is that honeymoon. And then afterwards, there will be times to fade. I mean, I'm not sure if the Astros necessarily fall into that, but I would definitely say the Phillies could potentially fall into that. And depending on kind of what ends here, I mean, there's obviously a little bit more time. We still have a couple hours left. If Cease ends up getting traded, wherever he ends up, that might be a place to kind of like, all right, I wouldn't be fading the Dodgers really at this point, but I can understand why if somebody wanted to, because the pieces they got back with Ahmed Rosario, with Kike Hernandez, and who was the other piece that they got? The Dodgers just picked up.
Lance Lynn.
And Lance Lynn. Yeah.
I'll be on Oakland tonight as soon as that line drops.
Yeah. I mean, I can see the Dodgers kind of having a little, like not necessarily the Dodgers having that little kind of difficulty kind of figuring everything out. It's more about the pieces they got back, because I don't really necessarily think Rosario is a very usable piece for the Dodgers. I don't think Hernandez is a very usable piece because they've had those guys. I mean, they've had those guys in the past. Is this just to fix the Gavin Lux issue from the spring training? Is that more or less what this is about? But I don't know. I think there are times you can fade some of the teams that make these trades. But more than anything, I like to bet on the teams that just traded away their pieces, because now they have prospects coming up that are very, very hungry. I mean, they are going to do all the small things. Exactly.
We do have a little bit of an update from the finalization of the Verlander trade. The New York Mets are sending the Astros about $54 million in the Verlander trade. If Verlander $35 million option in 2025 becomes vested, Verlander is owed about $93 million, meaning the Astros would pay Verlander about $29 million for two and a third years.
$29 million for 2 1/3?
Yeah, it is 40, 41, and 42 seasons. So
yeah, he's not the same pitcher.
No, he's not.
He's still good. I mean, he's
the
not
fact
terrible.
That the Mets got the Astros number 1 and number 4 prospects for him is crazy.
Granted, who do you call it, was their only top 100 prospect, and he was number 68 according to MLB.com.
Yeah, a little surprising that it was got for that.
Yeah, I was expecting a bigger return a little bit, but
especially given the
I like it for my Astros futures.
Yeah,
I have a lot of money for them to win the division, and I'm glad they responded to getting Scherzer by getting Verlander. The Rangers getting Scherzer, so they went out and got Verlander. I'm glad they responded to that.
Yeah, I don't think the Rangers have done what they needed to do.
No, they haven't improved their bullpen. That's
that was exactly. Yeah. And their offense has been stagnating.
Yeah, I mean, offenses die at some point. You can't expect to be the number one offense the entire year through.
No, not at all. But I mean, at least they did something. You know, if you're a fan base out in Texas, you love it. I mean, it's hard not to like that move because the Rangers didn't give up a ton other than just kind of paying for it. And you're also bringing Scherzer to Bruce Bochy and Mike Maddox. And look what they've done with some of these other guys like Dane Dunning and, I mean, not Martin Perez, but John Gray before the second half and Eovaldi. I mean, if you're able to get a form of Scherzer that is more closer to the playoff version of him that we've seen in the past, more with the Nationals than anything, that's going to be huge. And that could be the difference in that division. But I'm with you. I'm very much on the Astros. I placed a futures on them not too long ago, knowing that the Rangers would probably do something, but caring very little because it's still the
Texas Rangers.
It's still the Rangers.
If you look at it, the Astros, if we looked at it a month ago, you know what their trade deadline acquisitions were? Getting Altuve back in the lineup, getting Alvarez, getting Yordan Alvarez back in the lineup, getting those guys healthy again is bigger than any acquisition they could have made.
Yeah.
Because they continued to win games, including beating the Rangers a decent amount without those guys in the lineup.
Yeah.
So I think there's levels to this, and the Astros are still a level above the Rangers.
I think the Astros did exactly what they needed to do. Yeah, go get an arm that can help out.
They still got the pieces to do it.
Yeah. Because if you pair Verlander and he's able to show some of the guys that weren't there when he was there, Hunter Brown, JP Francis, these guys that are starting to kind of emerge. You have a guy like Verlander in there. As long as Kate Upton's not too distracting to all the players, they're going to learn a ton with how to compete at a higher level. Because I would rather have Verlander for my playoff push than Scherzer, just because of this kind of the knowledge that Verlander is going to be giving the players versus Scherzer. Because Scherzer is not one of those guys.
Scherzer's a fucking hothead.
Yeah.
And no, he's not going to. Now, obviously, we saw he took Tejon Walker underneath his wing when he was a Met. We've seen him do that before, but he's not somebody I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for people to learn from Scherzer because the guy's a fucking mental head right there. Like,
yeah. Are you going to be able to get Verlander to help some of these younger guys? Absolutely. He's done that in the past. He's done that throughout his entire career. He's been more that guy, and that could help. That could be a bigger payoff. If you told me who would you rather have pitching in a game, give me Scherzer all day, every day. If I'm in a playoff game, but if you're talking about who would I rather have during a playoff stretch in the clubhouse, dude, it's Verlander, and that's a good fit. That's a good fit, but we'll see kind of how the rest of this stuff plays out. There's still quite a bit, left.
When is the actual deadline? It's 6 o'clock, right?
6 Eastern. So we
got another 2 hours.
Yeah.
Sitting here shooting the shit here, trying to figure out where all these players are going. And then on the flip side with the Mets with this, I think it leads to them perfectly going in the offseason and taking a shot at Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani, Corbin Burns. Name the free agent that's going to be in these offseason. There's a lot of good free agents starting pitching that's going to be in this offseason. And I think the Mets are setting themselves up to have I think if they go out and get someone like some of the players I just listed and put them in the front of the rotation, I think that sets them up much better than having Scherzer and Verlander in the front.
100%.
As great,
bringing Corbin Burns,
as good as those guys are, they didn't fit this year. It didn't click. Nothing. It didn't go. I mean, until just recently, like Verlander last month in July had a 1.49 ERA, I believe. Yep. Like he was awesome in the month of July.
Yep, they both were.
They both were.
They brought up their draft. They brought up their trade stocks. We appreciate that.
But when you look at it, were the Mets going to win a World Series with Verlander and Scherzer at 40 and 41 years old, or 39 and 40, whatever they were? Probably not. So it was a nice thought. I mean, and basically we signed those guys in the offseason to get prospects. In return, Luis Angel Acuna is a Met now.
He'll be
and so is Houston's top prospect, Drew Gilbert.
Yeah.
Which looking at him, he's not due up till 2025. He's in Double A right now. But he was the first round pick in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I was looking it up, Nick, the number 4 prospect that we got from him. He went to he got drafted at a Pro 5, which is a place in Apex, North Carolina.
Huh.
At Ting Park. So
wow.
Okay. Yeah. So I looked at it, I'm like, oh wow, no way. That's like hey, I know where that place is. So we got somebody out of there.
Where did Drew Gilbert get drafted out of? High school?
No.
I'm assuming
Tennessee.
So. 2000.
Tennessee.
Oh yeah, Tennessee. That's right.
I sent the video of him.
I didn't see it. I was doing a CFL.
Wasn't he in the College World Series not too long ago?
Yes, he had that. Hold on, I'm pulling it up because I'm allowed to.
I'm allowed to.
I mean, for what it's worth, I was drinking the Mets Kool-Aid beginning of the year. I did take
I remember we were on stream. I forgot what we were doing on stream.
I got his video right here. Hold on.
During the World Baseball Classic, and as soon as Diaz got hurt, he was the one that
that guy.
Oh, I like this kid.
That was in the regional against White State. He hit the grand slam to win it.
Yeah.
So that's true. That's Drew Gilbert that we got.
Yeah, but I remember being on live stream, and when I saw that Diaz got hurt in glorified spring training, aka the World Baseball Classic, I said our season was fucked from there. I had no hope after that. I was like, I even messaged a couple people. I'm like, baseball season hasn't even started and it's over.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it was too accurate. It was that was too good of a prediction. But that being said, it's not like you guys are all that far away. Because if you do end up just getting honestly, the trade package that would have made a ton of sense for you guys would have been to package Snell and Hader, because you put Hader with Diaz in there with that lefty righty, 8th, 9th, and then you have Snell in the beginning of that rotation. That would have made a ton of sense.
That could be an offseason move because Snell's a free agent.
Yeah, but I think the Padres, if they're holding on to Snell, they're going to make such a run at him. And Snell has fallen. From everything I've heard from fans and friends and people that work within the clubhouse, is that Snell has absolutely fallen in love with San Diego, and he would be willing, because he's actually apparently he told Preller on a few times, like, hey, look, I want to be here. All right. So just keep me here. Let's work on something. Let's get something done. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was an extension pretty quickly for him. I don't think you do it with Hader, though. I mean, I don't know why there would be the expectation of going out and signing Hader. I would much rather have Snell, but there's going to be quite a bit of free agent guys going into this offseason with a ton of question marks. Stroman, what is Stroman now?
He had a really good first half, and in the last 7 games, he's allowed 143 runs or something like that.
And we've seen this before from Stroman around the deadline, is that if his name is talked about, because I remember with the Blue Jays, he just loses it. It's like he's trying to prove too much. So maybe now that trade deadline passes, he can relax again. I'm not going to bet it. I'm not going to bet on him to do that. But
absolutely not.
Still, there's going to be a lot of those type of guys that are going to be entering free agency that you don't really know. Because I'll be real. I don't think Snell is a proven commodity as well as he's pitched this year. Is everybody just going to forget the last 3 or 4 years where it was literally just a 1/2 season you got? It was a terrible first half and then a very good second half, because that's all we've gotten from him the last 3 years. I don't think much changes.
And who knows? Snell's been dominant so far right now.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. He could be the first pitcher in the modern era to lead the league in walks and strikeouts. It has never been done before.
That's crazy. Because usually when you lead the league in walks, you don't have the pitch count in order to do that.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Because, walks generally lead to runs.
Yeah, I wish somebody called like a possible Cy Young 33-1 with Snell in the beginning of the year, Nick. That would be crazy, right?
Yeah.
I may or may not have Snell 33-1 Cy Young Award. So I'm
You
happy
also
with
said, one of you also said Eflin, and early on that looked like that was like, oh my god, that's
I said Eflin.
Yeah.
But my thought with Eflin is, why the fuck are the Rays giving him so much money? They know something. Obviously, he got injured a couple of times, but he's been solid at home.
Yeah, I really like what the Rays do. The Vanderbilt of MLB with all their pitching.
You just don't question anything the Rays do anymore.
No, there's a few organizations that you look at and you just go, yeah, they're run very well, and there's not a lot of criticism for what they do. The Rays, the Dodgers.
Okay.
I mean, I'd struggle with other names. Those
Cleveland.
are the two that
Cleveland.
Yes and no. I think Cleveland has made some really smart moves, but a lot of Cleveland's success is thanks to a deadline deal with the Padres. You look at their offense and what they got for Clevenger and the haul that they got. I actually went and graded all of Preller's trades as a GM for the Padres. He's made 101 trades now after today. He's made 101 trades. And 14 of them you could rank as a success. So 14 out of the 101, 14 out of the 100, you could rank as a success.
I'm going to stop you real quick because we do have somebody waiting down backstage, and we have to bring him on. Mr. Sean Higgs. Oh.
Okay.
You
got the San Diego guy?
No. The one I had it in, the thing I had it in was 3 across, and it was only meant for 3.
Rich Hill and Chow. Woo!
Don't get him started. Don't get him started.
I think the key is that they're probably going to trade Snell and Darvish, and Hill's got to come in and fill some innings. Is that what they're going to do?
I heard from a rumor that Hill would go into the rotation and Lugo would go to the bullpen.
That's where Lugo belongs.
So. Which, it's like, why? Why are you? It's subtraction by subtraction. I mean, what the hell are we doing here?
Let's talk about the Mets with like $200 million in dead money the next 2 years.
Oh, who cares?
The dead money, the money they're paying is more than half the teams in baseball's payroll, I think.
Who cares?
I don't think Steve Cohen gives a fuck.
But you know what, though? Listen, at the beginning of the year, it was kind of like, hey, we got Cohen. He'll spend money. He doesn't care. This is perfect. You're paying that money either way. At least this way, you're paying to get a good prospect back. Maybe they hit. Worst case, they don't hit, and you could package them and trade them off and get somebody back at the deadline next year because they're still highly touted, you know?
Yeah. There we go now.
What are the Cardinals doing? Are they waiting to the bitter end to trade their pitchers? They got a shot?
They got rid of Paul DeYoung. The Blue Jays grabbed him after the Bichette injury last night, which, I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard any word on Bichette, but it looked like it's a torn meniscus because he immediately started limping. He could put weight on it, but he couldn't put a lot on it. And you're generally, yeah. I mean, well, and in the fact that he was rounding, it could also be an ACL or a PCL, just because of how he was having to round the base and the fact that he was using interior leverage on that leg. So sounds like Bichette could be out, if not for the season, an extended lengthy absence. So that would explain the Paul DeYoung trade.
Wow,
that's rough.
Unfortunately, he was having a great year.
He was. I was all over his hits over. I think it was over 149 and a half or 155 and a half.
I had Bo Bichette to lead the league in hits, so that was that bit's gone now.
Yeah,
that was the only Blue Jays future I made.
Yeah, I mean, unless he somehow comes back, and it's just like, oh, it was a tweak, because we all have those moments, and we've all seen those moments as fans where you're like, oh crap, he's dead, he's died. Like this player is
and then he comes back next week. He's like,
and he's like, next game, like, hey, all right, here we go, ready to roll, let's go. And like the Paul Pierce situation, like, because there are athletes out there like that, or the slightest twinge, it's like, oh, I broke my femur. Like, dude, you got a splinter. Like, let's slow your roll a little bit, all right.
Phillies get Lorenzen from.
Yes. Yeah,
that's a nice little pickup for them.
Yeah.
I'm shocked they haven't picked up Dom Smith. Do they still need a first baseman?
Yeah. And real quick to touch on the player we were just talking about, this is major positive news here. Bo Bichette knee considered day-to-day. MRI revealed no structural damage. That is
huge. Oh my God.
No,
When
you
did that
can't
come
bring
out?
that guy back. He's got to sit out a couple days.
Of
Oh
course.
my God. We literally got that.
The fact that he doesn't have a
MLB
torn
posted that
ACL is fucking
35
huge. Though.
seconds
Like,
ago.
come on.
Did you guys
That's
see it
huge for
happen?
them.
Did you guys
No,
see
I
it
did
happen last night
No.
or
We
yesterday?
can't watch Oriole
No.
games because they're blacked out in North Carolina.
Oh yeah,
That
You
and the
said that.
Nationals are both blacked out. I can't watch either.
Dude, it was I had the under in that game, so it was a push for me. But when he hit the ball, it was just like, oh crap, damn it, there goes my under. But hey, Bochette hit, and he's rounding it, and it looks like, oh, okay, this is going to be a close play at second. And then when they pan to second base, it's literally whoever caught the ball just kind of standing there looking up, like what the hell, and walks over, and Bichette just started walking to the outfield. Like, he didn't even try to get into a pickle or anything. It was immediate, like, oh nope, I heard a pop or something like that.
And you're not,
So the
you're
fact
not
that-
going to risk anything there.
Yeah, the fact that it's day to day after that, because I was
That's
watching, I was
crazy.
like, that's a tear. That's a tear. Every time I've seen a player do that, rounding a base, wherever they are on the field, every time I see that and there's no slip and they pull up, it is always something of like a significant injury. It's rarely, maybe once or twice in my entire coaching career has it been oh, you're good today? All right, you're out there in left field. Get going.
And then real quick, referring to the Cardinals, they released their starting lineup, which can kind of tell us where they're going. Nootbaar, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Contreras, O'Neill, Walker,
That
Edman,
doesn't mean
Monterey,
anything. They
Carlson.
could pull him from the game if they make a trade.
Yeah.
That means
Let's go.
nothing.
It said the Yanks were going to get Carlson for a hater.
Oh, Mr. Masturbator's going to get traded?
I mean, I take Don Carlson over Hader. At least he's under control. He's a switch hitter. I mean, although I don't mind Hader. I'd rather try to get Monty back, though.
Yeah.
Monty's traded.
Yeah, I know.
He's a
He went to
Ranger.
Texas, yeah.
Yeah. So you can't get Monty back.
No, I'm saying I would have. Again, my whole and everybody I thought would get traded pretty much got traded. I'm thinking teams like Houston, even the Yankees on the peripheral, the Orioles, Dodgers would be looking for a starter and a bullpen guy, right? We saw, and who the Angels go after the starter and bullpen guy,
Yeah.
The Angels and the Padres making moves to try to get better.
That makes no.
Although the
I'm not
Angels,
I'm not sold on him at all.
yeah, listen, but this is obviously before.
Yeah,
Houston gets Verlander.
Brewers get left-handed reliever Andrew Chafin from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, who gives a fuck? That guy's terrible.
The Diamondbacks are trading again. How come Arizona's not going after a pitcher?
Well, they got Seawald, so they got
Seawald,
extra
so
relievers to
They
get
got
rid of.
Seawald?
So it
From
was gonna
Seattle?
be
I mean,
Van
was he
Fly.
any good?
Who Chafin?
Chafin now.
He was fine
Seawald.
in Detroit.
Oh, no,
Chafin
Chafin, yeah,
sucked.
he's been fantastic.
Chapin was the guy that started the failed starter campaign for the bullpens.
Well, remember he went to the when they put him in the bullpen in Detroit, and it was just like, this guy is not a closer. Like, what do you do? Like, he's a soft tosser. He relies on soft contact, and you're putting him in the most important inning in baseball. So what? And then it worked. I was like, oh, this works. All right, crazy. And then he signs a decent contract with the Diamondbacks, and now the Diamondbacks have a surplus of relief. And of course, the teams that need relief pitching, not all of them are going out there and getting it. I mean, you said the Brewers picked him up.
The Brewers got Andrew Chafin from the Arizona.
Yeah, the Brewers did not have a huge need at bullpen. They are number one
They have a
in
decent
bullpen ERA.
Well, they picked up another guy.
Like
You can never have
Astros,
two
like the
bullpens.
Astros need arms. Like, why aren't they like their entire bullpen pitched like 50 innings the first half of the year?
Didn't the Astros pick up Kendall Graveman?
It's still you need more than that. I mean,
Well, obviously.
Hunter Brown and JP France are youngsters with, they're kind of getting to their limit not limit, but you're getting to that tail end of where you've pitched a lot. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't have enough pitching. Have we not learned this, folks?
Oh, of course.
Correct.
I want every pitcher I can get, and I'll worry about it in September or October when if we make the
That's
playoffs
a
and
good
they're all
problem to
healthy.
have. That's a really good problem to have. Is
Arizona's trading relief pitchers, and they have one starting pitcher. They have one good starting pitcher, an okay guy, and then it's a crapshoot of, hey, maybe somebody will get hot.
Arizona's not making the playoffs. They were a fun little story, but they're not doing anything.
Oh man,
And
dude,
no pitching.
I took Arizona. I never have made this bet, but I took a position bet, and I had the Diamondbacks finishing third, in the NL West at like plus 550 or something like that. Like it was great odds. Oh, dude, that feels so good now to look at how this whole deadline's going down and how the Giants are still there and how the Dodgers are going to be a clear favorite in the NL West. And I don't see the Padres contending here.
They might finish in fourth though.
I don't think the Padres are going to push past them. I mean, I just I think the Padres get an F on the deadline if it ends as it is now. Didn't address any needs and in fact created a potentially bigger problem in the rotation, which had been one of our strengths. So I don't see them pushing. I could easily see the Diamondbacks finishing in that third spot. And if you check the odds, if they had the odds now, you're going to get a way, way diminished value on what it was posted at.
Yeah.
But that's just me waxing, kind of patting myself on the back for a bet that is really not a great bet. Never a great bet to have something that the odds are specifically stacked against you.
Of course.
I'm shocked the Padres didn't say we'll trade Snell and
same
Soto and restock your farm system.
I'm still surprised that Ohtani's not getting traded. I think that's the stupidest thing ever. But
here's the thing with that, because I thought they should trade him and get what you can. But with the Mets and Yanks out of it, you couldn't trade him and Rodon. Like that would have been the key. We'll trade Anthony Rodon's $114 million and Ohtani and give us whatever you want to give us. Right? Because then you can say, hey, folks, we got $40 million or $38 million from Rodon's contract, and we're going to give him next. We could offer him $50 million because we're only paying 17 because we're saving 38, right? Yeah. That would have been my thinking on that. The fact that no one was eating that contract because the Mets and the Yanks stink. Where are they going? All right, you know what? Worst case scenario, he's going to break Judge's record, and people come to the stadium and we'll make a couple mil.
Yeah.
They win a couple games, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, we're only 5 back here. And let's be honest. The Rangers are a nice little story, right? And they went out and they got Scherzer and they brought in Monty, and they're making some moves. Let's see how that holds out. You still got Gray, Martin Perez, Dunning. Let's be honest.
Eovaldi's now on the IL.
Exactly. Again, like I mentioned with Houston, you got pitchers who, how are they going to, he's not healthy. He pitches 25, 26 games. He misses starts. Right? So maybe they think we're 5 back. We could take a shot here with Houston, with the Rangers. And then the Houston squad, the same kind of thing. They haven't been good all season. Bad starting. The relievers overworked. Lineups not hit that well. There's no guarantee. We assume Houston's going to turn on because they've been to what? 6 straight ALCSs?
Yep.
That's not a guarantee with this pitching staff. Look at this pitching. It's good, but it's after Framber. Hey, listen, I like Hunter Brown a lot. I got his autograph on a Baby Yoda jersey from Sugarland. I like the guy. He's still a rookie. Let's see. This isn't 1984 Doc Gooden coming in 220 innings, 230 Ks. They don't pitch like that anymore. You got to stretch these cats out.
Sean, we were talking about that earlier, and one of the point that I made was that's why the Verlander trade, there's a small nuance to it that is extremely helpful for your JP France, for your Hunter Brown, because Verlander will at least work with these guys and be able to kind of give them some insight into here's how you manage your workloads on your non-throwing days. Here's how you need to rev yourself up on your pre-bullpen day. I mean, those are the things that towards the end of the season, it can be valuable to have that guy. And if you can compare Scherzer to Verlander, who's going to be able to have that conversation with you? Scherzer is not going to talk to you about that kind of stuff. He will get pissed at you for asking. And I think that's the importance of the Verlander trade more than the performance he's going to give, is just the fact that he can help stabilize and give these young pitchers more direction and help them with kind of navigating the end of a playoff run and the end of a season in a playoff run. That's where I think the real value of Verlander, which can't really be quantified, I think that's kind of one of the undersung victories here.
Yeah. And plus, he played with this team a couple years ago. And those guys, Hunter Brown, France, they probably met him in the minors and maybe got a. Yeah. But now that's the kind of thing. Any kind of trade, I feel, it's going to give a boost to whoever team they're going to, right? It's just kind of like, look at this, now we're in it. Look at this, all right. You get some fresh blood in there. That guy's coming off a bad team. He's rejuvenated. I mean, it could go for pretty much any kind of pitcher or hitter or whatever. I just feel I'm one of those guys where it's like, I'm coming out of Colorado. CJ Cron first at bat hits a home run or something. crazy because somebody wants me. I'm on a winner now. It's good to get out of here. I'm feeling refreshed. You get the veteran. Like, it's stupid that it's like, well, you get that veteran presence. That is humongous for teams. That's humongous. You get that veteran leader in there. Like the old, bro, he's a professional hitter, off the bench, whatever. Young guys need that. He comes in and starts telling some stories like, let me tell you something, like that loosens everything up a little bit. The pressure's a little bit off. You come in with some laughs. You're coming in. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how to do this old school way, I saw the Miami comment. What does that say about Miami? Can you get a bat? Why are we not getting any kind of offensive players on the Miami Marlins?
I don't think you can do anything with Miami. Honestly, I think everybody's so young still, and honestly, the big question mark for the Marlins moving forward is managing. I mean, Skip Schumacher has had some interesting decisions this year. There's been some interesting decisions within their organization. I mean, Ruiz that got sent down to kind of limit his innings or whatever. All of a sudden, he's pitching 5 innings. Like, well, why is he not doing it at the big league level? Like what do you got? What are you guys doing? So I think they have the pieces.
But is that on him or is that on ownership saying we don't want this guy getting paid for another year?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like we don't know any of that. We're never going to probably really know because every organization is a little bit different. Some organizations allow their manager to do the promotions, demotions, and way too many organizations are using the analytics side of it and going, oh, this player is hitting 22 WABA versus right-handed pitching that feature a sinker that's between 90 and 93 miles an hour. So let's call him up for a couple of weeks. And what they don't realize is the human aspect of all this, the development or the regression that can happen from these moves. It completely gets thrown out. That's why I would say of all the teams that like, I didn't think the standing pat and not doing anything was a prudent decision for some organizations. I think it is for the Marlins because they seem to be very, very close, especially if you get Sixto Sanchez back. You have Ruiz in that. You can teach Cabrera how to find the strike zone more consistently.
Max Meyer. I mean, they got a bunch of young kind of guys. Mm-hmm. But why aren't you trading one of those guys and trying to get Goldschmidt?
Because they're not going to win the World Series this year.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
They don't have enough to win the World Series. They are a very nice story, but they do not have enough to win the World Series, so they have no reason to go all in.
I disagree with that one because I think it is wide open. It is a cluster. Anybody can win. Let's be honest.
Who's stopping the Braves from just?
Who's stopping the Braves? I don't know. I saw the Braves. I saw the Braves get swept last weekend. I mean, what are you talking about? Every team. I mean, April we had Tampa Bay at 30-9. We had Cincy go 20-5. We had the freaking Oakland A's win 8 in a row. Who's the best team? Who's the pitcher after Strider? You like Strider and Charlie Morton, and then you got a bunch of guys that come in and it's T-ball.
Strider, no. Strider, I want nowhere near a game one starter.
I thought Strider would have the year that Manoah is having right now. Honestly, I thought he was going to have.
Well, here's the thing. Strider.
That guy's got 200 Ks in 120 innings.
Yeah, exactly. He's not having that type of year.
Strider's the same guy every single start. He'll give you 10 strikeouts. You pitch him past the 6th inning, he's giving up 4 earned runs. You trust him in a playoff game where offense dries up?
I said this last night on Sports Grid with Gabe Morrissey. I said the Toronto Blue Jays have the best pitching staff in baseball. I said Gaussman, Barrios, Kikuchi, Bissett's pitch well. Even if Manoah pitches half as worse as he did, doesn't make a difference. And now you have Ryu back, who's going to be probably a 4 or 5 inning guy.
Honestly,
give me 6 other starting pitchers on a team who'd you take over that's the 6 guys. There's none.
The only team would be the Marlins. Like that would be the only team that like they would stack up.
We take a bunch of young guys who are capable.
I mean, that's why
I'm not paid. You said the Blue Jays to win the World Series.
Yeah. I'm not paid.
They're not winning the World Series, Nick. Don't even.
I'm not paid to make the type of decision about how productive would buying at this point for the Marlins be. But I can say by this time next year, if they're not buying at this point, I mean, it's just like, hey, because I think that this is more of what the Orioles did last year and how they're kind of playing it out this year. This year it's the Marlins, and then next year it's going to be the Marlins again with the trade deadline needs and how close they can potentially be to being a legit World Series contender. Because if
I think
the
Marlins
argument
have a good
is
chance of winning the division next year.
yeah, and if the argument is like, hey, who's gonna like the World Series is wide open, it's like, well, that's not necessarily the reason to go in. I would say the reason to go in is we feel like we have the strongest shot at getting that World Series title. And I think the Marlins are extremely close. I really like their young staff, but
You
it
can
is
ride
about
pitching.
decision making.
Pitching always wins out. Like last
Yeah.
year's playoffs, let's be honest. I mean, the Seattle, every game, 1-0. Forget about it. It was about pitching. And the Marlins pitching staff, bunch of young guys who deal. It's about getting hot at the right time. How many teams have been hot? Like, we're like, oh, the Dodgers. Dude, you like that Dodger pitching staff? Look at that Dodger pitching staff. Is that a joke?
You like that Brave pitching staff?
No.
Who the fuck's their game one starter? Honestly, who is the game one starter for the Atlanta Braves right now? Spencer Strider?
Or Charlie
Max
Morton.
Fried? He's hurt.
Exactly. Wright is hurt.
Like Kyle Wright? He's hurt.
Hurt. Charlie Morton.
Charlie Morton? You're going to start Charlie Morton game one? You're going to start AJ
That's why I said it is
Smith-Shawver?
wide open. It's wide open, and the team with the second best record and the most wins in on the road in baseball, the Orioles, are standing pat with Kyle Gibson as their ace. What are they doing? We'll try next year. There is no next year when
No, they're not.
When Colton Cowser breaks his leg or somebody gets hurt. I mean, you can't just put off like, oh, well, we'll get him next year. There's no next year, bro.
Yeah, the Orioles should be trading right now.
Yeah.
They should absolutely be going out. I mean, if you're talking about the place where Dylan Cease should go,
The Orioles were looking at Dylan. I saw a couple of reports that Orioles were looking at Dylan Cease.
You missed.
Yeah.
It should have been. They should have got Giolito and a bullpen guy when they had a chance.
Or Verlander.
Or you forget about a bullpen guy because their bullpen's excellent anyway. They had 2 All-Star. They could have went Giolito and Lance Lynn. We'll take both. We'll take both guys. You can't have enough pitching. I'll take every pitcher you can. Go ahead. I'll see. Someone will get hot. That's how the Phillies get to the World Series. That's how teams go on runs because that's
how someone like Miami can do it this year.
That's how a team gets there because some guy you're not counting on does well. But you know what? You need to have guys to do that. You can't have Kyle Gibson as your ace. Yeah. And you got Bradish is young. Wells they sent down to Double-A. I mean, Kramer's young. Again, you got a bunch of young guys. Here come the innings. They're adding up. I've never thrown more than 150 innings. Well, you're closing in on that.
Here's the crazy thing with the Orioles is their best pitcher is on the IL right now.
Who's that?
No, he's not.
John Means.
No, he's not. Stop.
We all forget about John Means.
No,
he hasn't pitched in 3 years.
No. And I'm high on the Orioles. I think their pitching staff is fine. I think that I know you still have Gibson in there, but Wells has been phenomenal. Bradish has been great.
He's in the minors. Wells is in the minors.
He got dropped down to the minors?
Yeah, he got him in Double-A.
He had a couple bad starts. Yeah, well, I mean, Gibson has been ridiculous against right-handed pitching. If I have the stats still up here, I do not.
Again, you need pitchers to fill in for lefties. You need
as
many bodies as you can.
I have it right here. Gibson versus right-handed hitting since July 4th has a 198 batting average against, 317 FIP, a 2.95 FIP, 26.2 K percent. Flip over here to the next page. 162 batting average against, 238 on base percentage, 211 WABA. I mean, those are elite ace number stats since the 4th of July, since basically this month. Is it sustainable? No, because he has these streaks. He does these streaks all the time.
But that's that's what pitchers do. That's how teams go on win streaks and losing streaks, and you go from 30-9 to whatever Tampa Bay is now. And let's go back to the Pirates having a nice start. How'd that work out for the Pirate fans?
Yeah, but I mean, Cabrine Hayes and O'Neal Cruz going down, that was huge. Pirate Reds games will be fun in the future.
Listen, Cabrine Hayes, when's he going to start hitting? That guy's not that good.
Well, I mean, it's tough to evaluate because he hasn't been he isn't healthy. I mean, he keeps on getting hurt. So I would like him to be good. I'd like him to be a good hitter.
When do we become injury prone and just like flame out as a future star?
It's tough because sometimes it's about the development program that you have or the off-season training that you have around you. Because how many times have we heard, oh, so-and-so changed their off-season regimen, and all of a sudden they turn into a durable guy, and they're in the league for quite a bit. Soft tissue injuries, are generally likely to repeat themselves. So if you have a soft tissue injury as a young player, you're likely to have that throughout your entire career. But if it's like different things like your bicep and then your calf, and if it's scattered, if you change your offseason program, it can absolutely help you be more durable, and it gives you more of that peak performance training where you're getting stronger towards the end of the year. And that science is difficult to understand. It's difficult to apply appropriately because one size does not fit all with that.
When's the trade deadline end? 4:30?
6.
90 minutes.
90 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for more.
We haven't had that much, honestly.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Eduardo Rodriguez has not been moved. I mean, there's another Oriole arm that would be perfect.
Yeah.
And also surprised that Tariq Skubal hasn't even been mentioned like anywhere. I know he's controlled, but
yeah, you get a decent haul for him. But I don't know
that'd
if
be
you
a
want
great haul.
He's also been hurt a lot.
He's been hurt again. That whole staff has been hurt.
When he
Skubal,
is healthy and
Turnbull, Manning, everybody on that rotation.
And what do you call it? They're probably the best one of them all has been just got Tommy John surgery as well. If I can remember his name.
I know there's so many.
Tim, you have a T-shirt for him.
Sorry, what happened?
The Detroit pitcher that just got Tommy John.
Casey Mize.
Casey Mize.
Yep.
To be fair, I asked Detroit Lenny what Detroit, because I wanted a Tigers shirt. I said, who should I get? He said Casey Mize, and then he ended up hurting himself a week later. So
that's it, Casey.
Real quick, there are a couple chats. Damon's in here. Good morning, Damon.
What's up, Damon?
He's saying that the bullpen isn't that strong for. I'm guessing this is Miami.
Miami's fine.
Max is
70. They did get Robertson.
Yeah,
Marlins
they got Robertson.
Marlins don't play defense. Tripping. He doesn't like Verlander, and he's the best defensive third baseman in baseball, isn't he? Who's that?
Brian Hayes.
Brian Hayes.
And one thing I gotta say with the Miami Marlins is shame on the MLB for stealing the exact same script as the NBA and the NHL when Miami sneaks into the last wildcard spot and makes the World Series. Just like the Heat and just like the Panthers. Shame on them for stealing that script. They could have come up with something a little bit better.
Why don't the Yanks trade Rendon?
Because they haven't locked in for a while, don't they?
Contract. That's why. Nobody wants to pay that.
Nobody wants that contract right now.
But
they have to give up a lot for it, so no.
Fun fact about Miami, they are the only team in MLB history to have a World Series title and not win their division.
Yep, they've never won the division before.
They have two.
They won I believe it was the 2003 World Series accidentally.
Yeah.
They were trying to tank and they accidentally won the World Series. I believe Dan Ugla was on that team too.
Like 30 homers, Dan Ugla.
No, I think that was the Derek Lee team.
Oh, Derek Lee. Miggy
when they beat the Cubs with Josh Beckett.
No, they beat the Yankees.
Brad Penny.
They beat the Yankees.
Yeah, they beat that was an Ugla. Or maybe it was Ugla. Maybe Ugla was there, but I know Derek Lee was there. I know Josh Beckett, Brad Penny, because they had a legit rotation. I mean, that rotation that year was phenomenal.
By the way, a post here for anybody wondering for that Orioles-Jays game. There will be no restrictions on Hyunjin Ryu tonight as he makes his season debut. He can go 100 pitches.
Yeah. That's great. Let's go. Guys, if Tommy John has a pitch in the year, let's go. Fire away, Ryu.
They say that, but I mean, come on.
What could possibly go wrong?
I hope they pitch him 100 pitches, and then we don't see him around the rest of the year.
I don't know much about is it PJ Walker, the pitching coach over there?
Not a clue.
Well, I know his last name is Walker. I don't know if it was PJ or I definitely don't want to say Paul. I mean, RIP, But from what I've seen from him this year, dude's kind of a weird dude. That the incident just a couple weeks ago with the umpire yelling at umpires for pitches that even on stat tracks are balls and getting upset with the umpire. It's just like, and then getting upset when it goes the other way and it doesn't do it. It's like, dude, like you, as a manager, and this is stuff I've seen all over the league, especially with Hyde over in the Orioles, guys that seem to be using that iPad technology way too much. Just like their eyes are just buried into it. And then everything that goes out here is organized and initiated here. Like that's a huge problem. There's not a lot of those actual legit good managers anymore that just allow the feel of the game and be able to kind of know just through talking and communicating how their players are doing and what's going on. Way too much reliance on some of these numbers, and that's coming from a numbers guy. I am a numbers guy, but there's too much of it.
I agree.
But then you see teams like Tampa who use them perfectly.
Well, here's an interesting thing. I'm not sure if you've noticed this at all. Check and see where the Rays set up on almost every one of their pitches. Every one of their pitches, they set up right down the middle. And it does not give location to any hitter or any team that might be able to check and see where the glove movement is and stuff like that. And B, it also gives players their margin for error over the plate, which they've found if your margin of error is over the plate, it's far greater likelihood of an out than your margin of error off the plate.
You figure over the plate, the guy's going to rip it, but I guess he's thinking somewhere else so he doesn't get good contact.
Well, because if you're set up middle, you're giving that target, that visual visual aid. And if you are a pitcher and you get the call like, hey, fastball away, you're naturally going to try to throw there. But if your target is located more over the middle of the plate, you're more likely to miss towards your target rather than missing to your location. And generally, a coaching cue for pitchers is miss to your location. And now there's this growing thing of miss to your target. And the target is set up more towards where they want the ball to go in the middle of the plate rather than on the edges. And not a lot of teams are doing that. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are absolutely adamant that is stupid, and they do not want that to be done. I've coached on teams where they say, do not ever, ever set up down the middle of the plate. And now there's a growing thought, and the Rays are the Vanderbilt of the MLB, that it is advantageous and it is more beneficial and it's more of a benefit to pitchers to have that target in the middle of the plate.
Interesting. Spoken like a true coach.
The Rays just think differently. It's crazy what the Rays do. And if you're somebody with the Rays past where like they win on every trade they make, like if you trade with the Rays, there is a very high likelihood you're getting fleeced. Well, if I'm the Rays,
the Snell trade actually was good for the Padres. We didn't give up. We gave up Luis Patino and a couple other guys for Snell.
Yeah,
and that trade worked out.
Yeah, most of the time the Rays get the better end of the trade. Mm-hmm. If I'm somebody with the stereotype that we always win trades, I'm going to call up teams just to screw with them. I'm going to call about a prospect I see no future in, just so they think they have something in that prospect. Yeah. They don't want to. Who's so and so? This guy's done nothing. He's hitting 100 in single A. What are they seeing in him?
Let's bump him up to AAA here. Let's see what he can do.
See what he can do.
Well, you remember the Chris Archer trade? This might be one of the worst trades of all time. The Chris Archer one, where I think they got Jamison Taillon, Tyler Glasnow, and some other Cy Young pitcher for Chris Archer. And Archer was fine for Pittsburgh. He was like, okay.
I'm looking up that Chris Archer trade. Hold on.
Yeah, tell me who, because I'm pretty sure it was like 3 legit future aces.
It was Tyler Glasnow, Austin Meadows, Shane Baz to the Rays for Chris Archer.
Shane Baz, he's out with Tommy John, I think.
Shane Baz,
Austin Meadows and Glasnow alone for Archer is like, whoa, that's a lot to give up.
Glasnow's a stud. Like, he's somebody, talk about, we don't know who you would want to pitch game one. It could be McClanahan or Glasnow. I would have no problem them pitching game one.
It's McClanahan. It's not even close.
Oh, it's McClanahan.
It's McClanahan and Eflin, Nick. Come on.
But if you told me that McClanahan, Glasnow, Eflin, games 1, 2, 3, who's beating the Rays?
I would want Eflin in the 2 slot so that he can get the home game.
Well, if it's a right-handed lineup, you want Glasnow. Glasnow has been much, much better versus right. I mean, you look at the righty-lefty splits. Glasnow is like unhittable versus right.
Go look at. It's funny because guys get traded down like, oh, he's gonna be good. Look at Glasnow's minor league numbers. They're awful. They're awful. They're ridiculous. Like it's something you made up on a game. You loaded up a player and created a guy.
I forgot. I have that button. Trey Mancini designated for assignment by the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, well, whatever.
They're making a move, right? Think that, or he's just been bad.
Mancini hasn't done shit all year. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's not much of that's not.
I don't know. I got a notification, so I felt like clicking
cool.
the button.
Yeah,
I will be clicking that button because that'll quiet down the stream so I can announce stuff.
It was good practice. Of
course. There was a good warm up run. So when we announce big trades later, I can just click the button and announce.
Here, Nick. Here's for your Trey Mancini news.
Oh my God! Who the hell cares?
You're welcome.
Dude, I cannot tell you how much that is in my phone. I said that to way too many people. I probably shouldn't be sending it to.
So yeah, I have that button when available.
Nice.
To click when I see trades, which
Nice.
I have post notifications on for who do you call it, for
MLB
underdog MLB, and they're usually the quickest ones for stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, and the Rays also got Savali recently, if you guys forgot.
I like that move for them. I mean,
I thought that was legit.
So now you have a 1 through 4 in your rotation of McClanahan, Glasnow, Eflin, and Savali.
Yeah.
Is that not the best rotation in baseball? And we talked about the Blue Jays. Is that not the best rotation in baseball?
The problem is that McClanahan and Eflin have back problems right now.
Yeah.
And Savali is always kind of like dinged up every once in a while, pushing back a start.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
But if you give him rest, which you can't do in the Rays.
The playoffs, you got 4 guys. You could bring in Taj Bradley for a little bit. You know?
And the Rays haven't even used bullpen days. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, the inventor of the bullpen day hasn't even used the bullpen day this year for the most part.
Yeah. They have.
Speaking of Rays bullpen days, tomorrow Giolito's facing Yanni Chirinos. There's a next Tampa Bay guy for you.
Oh yeah, something's wrong with Chirinos. They traded him away.
That's why you take Giolito tomorrow plus 130.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
See, that's the one thing with the Snell trade with Tampa that I'm not going to blame them too much about getting rid of him, because I don't think it was that he was going to be bad. It was the money. Blake Snell wanted way too much money.
Well, and the issue with cash.
That Tampa was willing to pay him.
It was also like, well, okay, what kind of relationship is going to be
especially after they both in the World Series like that.
Yeah, because Snell was pretty adamant about that. But he has been on record that he didn't handle that well. As he's kind of grown and gotten older, he has admitted, like, yeah, I could have probably been better about that. I probably could have seen some things differently. But to the credit, he has only been like a 1/2 pitcher for every single season he's been here.
Yes, look at this. I say, like, about Snell, like Kyle Freeland, some guys have like one good year and you're like, why do we keep waiting for that year? Maybe that was the fluke year, you know? Like Snell he had that awesome year, and now listen, he's had a great run this season, right? But how do you rate that compared to his, right? You say he's a half a season guy, like it's.
Oh, I would have moved him. I would have absolutely moved him.
Why wouldn't he move? Absolutely.
If you told me I can get 4 top 100 prospects and one of them is in the top 10, done. And because the Padres have tried to replicate what the Dodgers have done, which is you have all this depth, and anytime there's an injury or a player goes down or whatever or gets traded, there is within the organization a legit solution. And for whatever reason, that's the team that we are trying to emulate, and we are doing it horrifically. Like it's as bad as it can be in terms of it's that old classic. You look in the mirror expecting to see your face, but you see something like some ugly, horrible, disfigured face looking back at you. That's what we got going on. Because it would be smart. Go get 4 legit pieces. See if they develop. Maybe have a couple that are ready to contribute next year. But instead, nope. We're just going to hold pat, and we're going to go get Rich Hill and He-Man Choi. It's like, no, well, that's one of the worst options you guys could have done. Whereas the Dodgers went and got more legit usable pieces with Rosario and Lance Lynn and Ronaldo Lopez and Kike Hernandez. It's just like, yeah, that's how you do it. You just kind of
And
refining
when
edges.
when Ohtani leaves for $50 million or whatever, they got Giolito and kind of filled the hole for next year, and not a bad move. Not a bad move.
Nah, it's just a matter of what are they going to have once Ohtani is gone.
Because Ohtani's not going back to the Angels. Let's be
and with all these moves, we're going to be looking at the end of the season. The Angels are still going to miss the playoffs. They are going to lose Ohtani, and they're going to have one of the worst farm systems in baseball. And this team's still going to be really bad.
Yeah, he's
Damon's. I mean, he's got a Padre hat on, but I thought this guy's related to Brian Hayes the way he's talking about him. What are you, a cousin?
He loves Minshew. That's his boy. Gardner Minshew is his boy.
He's a relative.
Head up to BK because Jake Berger is on the move, and he is heading down to South Florida.
Is he really?
Miami Marlins.
Okay.
Jake
A little
Berger's
burger?
a
That
Miami
dude has got
Marlins.
power. I like it.
Man,
not
Marlins
bad.
should grab the other burger. 100%.
Jake Berger?
You were hoping that Vogelbach was on the move, right, Tim?
That was. Wrong burger. It is what it is.
Wrong burger, but yeah. No, I like that move for Miami. I think that's
I like it. Listen,
That's
I like
nice move back.
I like Brian De La Cruz. I think he's got a lot of pop and it's good. And
It diversifies their lineup because he's not a slap hitting second baseman like their entire lineup is. Other than like Jorge Soler, that entire Miami Marlins team is the same freaking hitter. So
De La Cruz could hit a little bit.
Yeah. Well, did you see Soler's home run the other day?
Oh, that was a bomb.
Dude,
Yesterday?
that thing
Against
went
Miami?
up into the rafters. Yeah, it went all the way up into
yeah.
the rafters, bro.
I guess he's kind of strong.
He's got the
Did he have 45 homers? when
Miami's sneaky.
Yeah, with Kansas City. He had a big he was part of the World Series team with Kansas City, right?
And he had a monster run with the Braves too, right? Didn't he have a good run with the Braves when he got traded over there?
Soler
He had the big home run. Soler was with the Royal.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, he was with the
He was
Royals.
on the 2015 team. He's got the ring.
Well, I didn't remember that. Ooh, that's a great pitching match.
He's got 2 rings. He won it with Atlanta.
I thought Berger was doing way better than he was.
The whole team's hitting like 220. He's terrible. What's his numbers?
Dude, Berger is,
The White Sox are going to sell.
What's he hitting?
Berger's trash right now.
All right. In exchange, the White Sox are getting Miami's number 4 prospect, Jake Eder.
Oh, come on. Like, dude, he's since the All-Star break, so only 53 at bats.
Hold on a second. Give me his total numbers on the year.
All right, total numbers on the year.
Like 230, 15 homers. What's he got?
That's expected. Oh, here it is, all the way up top. He has a 214 average, 527 slug, and an 806 OPS, 25 home runs, 52 RBIs.
But how old is he? 23?
27.
He's that old, Burgers? 27?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now,
how'd they get a 4 prospect for him?
The 4th best prospect. Let me get up.
Marlon
listen,
Jordan,
in the Marlin, I'll get up.
I got Jake Elder's stats.
I'm the old man of the crew here, but I remember like players. You talk about going into their prime, 26, 27, 28-year-old seasons, 29.
Yeah,
right.
He's a double A.
Now,
he's a double A pitcher.
Now they bring up these cats at 2021, right? I mean, they expect these prospects to come in and be studs. Like, oh, this guy's terrible. I got a guy in the chat. You know the Miz, right? MZ, you ever seen? Oh, Grace Rodriguez terrible. Any team would bend over backwards to take Grace Rodriguez for you because he's 21. Yeah. I mean, you can't call guys bust at 21, 22. They take time. Berger at 27, bro, let him play every day. That guy's got power like nobody's business.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
In his prime, all right, the average. And, again, I want a guy with average. But I'm also old school where a guy hits 220, he's going to hit 35, 40 homers. I'll take it. Perfect. My number 6 hitter. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't need that for my entire lineup. You know what
if
you're
you
going to get with
hit
this guy.
below average, hit home runs.
I mean, this guy's got 40 home run power. Take it.
Yeah.
The lineup has 0 home run power.
Other than Soler. And maybe De La Cruz a little bit.
Yeah, De La Cruz is too.
And like I said 15 minutes ago, shame on the MLB for stealing the NHL and the NBA's script with
Finally, Miami.
With the South Florida team getting the last wildcard spot and making the championship game to lose.
Oof.
So the Miami Marlins are losing in the World Series. So that's the way it's going to be.
I can't believe they trade Berger.
All right, I get that move.
And not Eloy Jimenez.
I get that move.
What are they holding on to Eloy for?
Real quick, on the opposite side of that Marlins trade, the White Sox got Jake Elder. He's a 24-year-old left-handed pitcher in Double-A right now. He was drafted in the 2020 draft, 4th round, 104th overall from Vanderbilt.
He's a Vandy boy.
He's a Vandy boy.
Prospects.
That's a positive right there.
Yeah,
I like him.
Where's he prospect-wise?
I believe he was the number 4 prospect for Miami.
He's outside the top 100. He's outside the top 100.
That move makes sense.
But that's fine. I mean, sometimes
makes sense. Yeah, I can see that move making sense.
But a Vandy kid, that's solid.
Well, it's exactly what Sean said. It's all about the power. And you look at his power numbers post All-Star break, even with that 189 average, 868 OPS. He's had 6 home runs and 53 at-bats. So, yeah, it's pure about power, getting that power option for them and not having to give up a ton. It felt like it was a little bit much kind of looking at the cursory stats. When you look at average, and it's a really low average, and the splits are not good, lefty-righty. Now you look at it a little more to Sean's point about the power. I think, okay, this makes way more sense as you look at it. This might just be one of those trades where makes sense for you, makes sense for me. Not a huge trade. Let's just get it done. That way we can both kind of start to try to fit our need.
Yep. And the White Sox getting a solid young pitcher that's coming up. That's when is he supposed to make his way up?
2024.
I mean, how about Berger last year played in 50 games. He had 8 homers. He's got 88 games, and he's got 25 this year. About a 250 last year. 160 at-bats, 5 homers. He had 300 at-bats. He's got 25 homers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like he plays the season, he get 45, 50 homers.
Yeah, it's the Adam Dunn. It's the Adam Dunn end of the career. You're just going to have to eat that horrific average because he might be able to poke one out with a couple people on.
But is he going to hit 240, or is he more? I mean, his 2 other kind of stints up here, he batted 250 and 263. So maybe he's just. Listen, I don't want 214. I'll take a 230 if we're going to hit me 40 homers. I mean, come on, he's got Pete Alonso numbers this year, so he's as good as Pete Alonso. How about that? Is that fair to say, Met fans? All right, that's a joke. Anyway, we got a guy coming off a crap team, right? This team's been a mess all season. They were a mess last season. Maybe he turns into a 250 hitter. You know, I think anybody coming out of Chicago, the White Sox team, is gonna, I think, be better.
Yeah.
For whatever it is, the whole culture, guys get hurt up there, right? Eloy Jimenez comes out, he breaks his leg every season. I mean, Tim Anderson, what happened to him? Just fell off a cliff.
He finally hit his first home run the other day.
Get out of that state. Holy cow.
Yeah. As soon as the Russo was brought in, it was like, oh, what are these guys doing? All that talent you guys are bringing in.
They're
old
just
man
aggressively
Russo.
mediocre. Now they're just bad.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, he's out of there. Watch him improve. I don't know about that.
You know.
I mean, that's a team with just injury-prone kind of stuff. It's wacky.
It's supposed to be a ton of moves toward like now. Like all these moves that are supposed to happen like in the last hour of the day. From everything I read from reporters, like, oh, expect a flurry of moves at the end of the deadline.
I mean, I just keep hitting refresh on ESPN and MLB. See what happens.
The Cardinals are taking another hit because Brendan Donovan will undergo season-ending arm surgery.
Oof, man, they are quietly the biggest disappointment in baseball this year.
I don't know.
Not to me.
No.
They are quiet. I said quietly.
No,
quietly.
No, not even close.
I had futures.
I don't want to talk about the Cardinals.
I had futures for sure. I mean, you look at that team coming back with all those young players, and
on who? You had futures on the Cardinals?
I had a future on the Cardinals. Their win total over. Halsey saves over.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
you should watch my preseason show. I said bury the under with these guys with that pitching staff.
I love their pitching. I love their pitching coming. I was a huge Montgomery fan.
Are you? What side of the flat earth are you on, my friend?
I mean, I'm telling you,
Adam Wainwright's 49 years old. He throws 42 miles an hour.
Yeah, but he's looked way better his last couple starts.
Can we
we
really
won't talk about him the
bring
other
in
day
our
on,
next guest? Can we
we
bring
were
in our
Dave.
next guest here from Las Vegas, Nevada, Mr. Detroit Lenny?
eating a Twinkie?
Hey,
What you
shut
got
the
in your
fuck
mouth?
up. I'm
A
trying to
giant-
join the show.
All right.
Are you eating a Twinkie?
Fuck yeah, I am. The Tigers. The Tigers are sellers. The Tigers are sellers.
Hold on. How fan am I that I could see this little box on the bottom of the screen? I'm like, is that? I called it a Twinkie.
You're goddamn right. It didn't stand a chance.
I'm hungry.
Pigs up.
It's not a trade, but it was almost a trade here. Eduardo Rodriguez used his no trade clause to block a trade to the Dodgers.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He's got
Blocked
listen,
the
he's got
trade
10 teams. He's
to
got
the
10 teams.
Dodgers.
Yeah, he's got 10 team no trade list, and the Dodgers are at the top.
He's like, I don't want to go to LA. They'll probably deport me. I'm not going over there.
Exactly.
So no trade for Rodriguez.
Why wouldn't you go to the
No
Dodgers
trade
from the
clause.
Tigers?
Okay, first of all, Detroit's a nice city. Secondly, LA, I don't
What?
know. I got nothing. That's all I had.
That's so. Where's he want to go instead?
I don't know. I don't even know. I've tried to. I've been looking for the 10-team trade. The teams on that.
I feel like he wants to go to Baltimore. I feel like he really wants to go to
Nobody
Baltimore.
wants to.
Just stay in the American League. He's familiar with it.
Why not?
Your boy Lorenzo went to.
Yeah,
the
Michael
Phillies.
Lorenzen would have been the most.
Because he's
glorious move ever.
He's still under contract for next year, I believe.
Lorenzen? Rodriguez. Rodriguez
yes.
would probably get a
He's
decent
yeah.
haul back.
his contract
Yeah,
is, and
I
I
think
think
so.
he's
like you probably could have gone a Ryan Pepiot for him or something like that.
he's
they
still
probably
under
could've gotten
contract,
Bryce
which is
Miller
why
for
I'm
him.
thinking he's probably like, you know
Maybe
what?
Bryce Miller, yeah, why not? He's scared of the.
I don't get. I would love to hear the reasoning behind not going to LA, unless it's just the idea that the National League he's expecting that to be such a crapshoot, and there's going to be a better opportunity elsewhere.
I mean, I'm going there because
what
I
has he
think
got going on right now? I mean, he's doing nothing.
Markel, is there a line? I've been waiting for that line all freaking day.
FanDuel has them at they're starting to lines come out for it. I'm seeing the Dodgers at like minus 320 to 330 today.
they were the Dodgers this
Wow.
morning on my one sports capping site for Ace. They were minus 400, and the A's were
On
plus 300.
Bookmaker, they were minus 400 this morning. Was not
Yeah.
available to me.
It's
Yeah.
still not available to put up on the Picks and Parleys website.
I once that line is released, if the Dodgers are at least minus 300, you guys know what I do. Oakland first 5, Oakland full game.
They're
Split
minus
bet,
375
half
with
unit
Lance
each.
Lynn.
Or
375 with Lance
yes.
Lynn today.
Yeah,
Jeez.
split bet, not a full unit on both. You split them for the first 5 in the full game.
I mean, who are they-
300 minus 300 fade. We haven't had one in a long time.
yeah, who's even pitching for the A's? Is it some teenager that just got his braces
Waldecock.
off?
All the cuck.
I mean, it's still
That's
big
what she
league.
said.
All the cuck.
Still a big leaguer.
I don't see the speaking of the Dodgers A's game. I know they traded for Lance Lynn already, but coming from a Tigers fan who is the team is shitty, as I get it. I'm realistic, but ain't nobody afraid of Lance Lynn in the last 2
No,
years.
minus 300 for Lance Lynn
Okay,
is a joke, right?
What Dodgers fans going? Oh, fuck yeah, World Series.
lot. A lot of them are. A lot
yeah,
of them are.
They're
delusional.
Dodger fans too.
Their best
doesn't
pitcher's
take a
on
lot.
the DL. Kershaw is on the DL. He's having a great season.
So is
You know,
Walker Buehler.
Dude, you could be like, they're bringing back the original recipe for the Dodger dog. That's it. World Series.
Oh.
It's just mark it down. It's happening.
Tim,
But
what
a
did
lot
I-
of the Dodger, I mean, rightfully so, a lot of the Dodger love comes from the fact that they just do these reclamation projects on guys. And it's just,
Oh, of course.
their
Now, all of a sudden, they're
record
gonna
for
be
this is
fixed.
off the charts.
you know
It's-
who's got a good record doing that though? The Giants.
Cleveland as well.
Yeah, Giants have done it
Alex
too.
Wood, the Scaflin, Gaussman. I mean, God, they just like you're like, what the heck? How
Yes.
are they like in second place? You're like, look at the team, like, what is that's like
There's
I call
another
the poor man-
organization.
They're the poor man Cardinals. Like they don't get the respect the Cardinals get.
There's another organization that it just seems to be run the right way. They just make the right moves. Kind of sucks what happened with Judge and Correa in the offseason, but it could also set them up for a run.
That's good for no. Losing Ana Correa was an excellent move.
Excellent, for them. Yeah, I agree. But the
Judge
thing was
like $400 million.
Yeah, but he's from there. Like it was reported. The Correa, I think, was a bullet dodged. But the Judge thing would have been cool.
But if Judge wanted to go, he could have went. I think Judge wants to stay in New York because he's the king of New York.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. But for the first second, it felt like, oh, all right, that's cool. That's not the worst landing place for me. Like I would have hated to see him in LA because I would be like, dude, that is bullshit. Like, you can't have Judge, Mookie, and Freeman in your lineup at the same time. That's not allowed. And now it's going to be Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman. It's like, well, that's somehow better.
People are like, I don't want Ohtani on the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets. Why? You want him sitting in some place, never making the playoffs?
I would hate to root for him on the Dodgers, but I would do it.
Come on. I got people telling me like Seattle. He's going to Seattle.
Yeah, the Ichiro thing, the Ichiro connection, the Japanese connection up there.
Kansas City Royals. For no reason.
We'll just leave that there.
Okay.
Love it.
Love
it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going
to soon, Ohtani, soon.
They're still pay. They're going to pay. They're going to about to fund Houston's World Series run.
Oh, they don't care.
The Rangers.
That's fine though. They were on the hook for those contracts next year anyway. And what would you rather be on the Mets going 61 and 101 with that pitching staff? He would have spent the money anyway, which is like the Earle say, right? He's got money, he's going to spend it. Spend it, you bring in some young talent, maybe it develops. Otherwise, at the trade deadline next year, you're making a move and bringing in so-and-so because you need another pitcher or a bat.
Yeah.
He's got the money. This is where the money comes in because you could swallow that instead of the Yankees with Stanton and Judge and DJ LeMahieu and these cats where you're stuck with eating that for the next 7 years. He could swallow it and be like, whatever, let's go.
Who cares?
We're ready. We'll be ready, but we'll be back next year. I mean, what are they going to do? They'll go sign Snell, make a move for Ohtani?
Why not? So someone like Corbin Burns?
Yeah.
Like there's possibilities for the Mets because
Stroman, bring the Strobro back.
No, thank you. No, I'm good.
No, I thought he was going to go back to Toronto. Think about that rotation with the Stroman in it when you would throw. I mean, before Stroman decided I'm done pitching for the year, apparently because he has been crap. But like when you look at it, Gausman with Barrios, Kikuchi, Stroman, and Ryu, or Stroman Bassett. Doesn't look like a terrible rotation.
No. Not at all.
This is all bad.
Let's go. Come on. We got to trade here before I got to go cook my wieners.
Mo, I just the way I played it was the Mets are going to hit Greinke today. The Mets the last 30 days are number 2 WRC plus against right-handed pitching. The only team better than them the last 30 days was the Minnesota Twins. And on the flip side, I do see Quintana getting hit as well. My favorite play in that game is just the over in general.
Oh boy, I got the under today, 9.5. I gave it out with Loshak in the bag today.
Yeah,
I gave it out with Loshak. Like love, and that was before Verlander. I figured, I thought I had the Nets on Sunday thinking they're going to trade Verlander. They're pulling him from his start, so I'll take a good plus money on the Nets here. But how are the Mets feeling right now? Are they really going to be like motivated to go out and start hitting?
It is the Royals on the other hand,
trade everybody, and then they'll go and sweep Kansas City, take 2 out of 3 from Baltimore, get right back up to 500, and be like, shit, we're 3 games back, and we just threw away everybody.
And sometimes you see that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that could definitely happen.
Honestly, play the young guys. Bring up Ronnie Mauricio. Bring up your young guys. I think they'll be fine. Like the guys that
can't be any worse than what you got. I get it. I understand.
Are we really concerned about the Mets losing Mark Canha? I mean, he was okay.
No, I think that was good.
Are we worried about?
But he was a good pickup for the team that they thought they were going to have. a 95 win team. We're bringing a guy in who could hit a little veteran kind of presence kind of nonsense. That is what you need to put a team together.
Yes.
But you lost Diaz, and then
I
remember saying
next year Diaz back.
I joked about it when it happened. I'm like, your season's going downhill right out of the gate. You're in trouble.
I said
it was a bad omen.
Oh yeah, we were live on stream when that game was going down. And when Diaz got hurt in glorified spring training, aka the World Baseball Classic, I literally said the Mets are fucked this year.
Yeah.
I said, and I messaged a few people. I said, MLB hasn't even started yet. The season's over.
Yeah,
I'm done because it always happens to the Mets.
But it changes the entire complex of the team.
Team's cursed. I swear.
McKenzie goes down for Cleveland. It changes the entire rotation. Guys are getting pushed into the rotation that would have been just like a spot kind of starter, long reliever. He might have turned into a stud in the ball. It just changes everything.
Oh, yeah. And I think when it comes to the offseason next year, they traded David Robertson. They're going to sign him right back, and we're going to have Robertson and Diaz in the back end of the bullpen again. I think they re-sign someone like Robertson.
Why wouldn't they?
I just read that Eduardo Rodriguez, only 3 teams he will waive his no trade clause for are the Padres, Red Sox, and the Orioles. What the? He's not
What?
free until 2022.
Padres want Rich Hill instead.
No, give me Eduardo Rodriguez. Fuck that.
Rich Hill. They're going to the World
bastard.
Series now.
Yeah.
They'll trade Rich Hill back to Detroit.
I'll take Eduardo.
Rodriguez.
Fuck, man.
By the way,
I'm not giving up much to
finally
get him.
up on the Picks and Parleys site. Nick, Oakland plus 260. I just loaded it up. Ride the wave.
All right.
Minus 300 trade. Let's get it.
260. They're a $400 favorite. You get 260.
That was
No,
the best
they're not.
on 365. They're not 400 fades. There aren't 400 fades anymore. They're minus 320.
I got a 370 in front of me here at Ace.
Well, that was the only thing that we could put up for the Picks and Parleys site. And
I
260,
see a line on that game.
between 260 and 280 is like nothing.
I know. It's just
listen.
You had a 300 fave, you'd be getting 280 back in the day. You know that the spreads are just ridiculous. Hey, I'm laying 235. I'm taking back 190. What are you talking about? It should be plus $2 at least. It's a freaking joke.
Wait, who are the 3 teams again? It was the Padres and who else?
Padres, Red Sox, and
the Orioles. I don't know what. I mean, I don't know if that's like
the Sox. I see the Sox want to trade Paxton. We'll trade Big Maple and get Rodriguez.
Why? I mean, yeah.
I don't know why the Red Sox. Why you even want
the Red Sox are still.
He played for Boston.
The Red Sox can get. The Red Sox are only 2.5 behind the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
like they're in a wild card hunt right now. They're not.
They're in the wild card. I think they're the wild card leaders.
No, the Red Sox.
The Red Sox.
They're 2.5 behind the Jays for the last one.
All right. Oh, okay.
Houston's a game above the Jays, and Tampa is 5 games.
I forgot Tampa.
All right, well, Baltimore better get in there and get them because that would be a very good fit for them.
Yes, it would be.
I would really like him to be in Baltimore. I do not want him coming here because I don't want to give up the capital.
I don't want him going to Baltimore. I don't want Baltimore doing anything. I would be thrilled if they just sit pat.
Are the Pods? Are you guys thinking like we're all going to start hitting tomorrow?
No,
right?
No.
Like, what is the thinking in the Pod? If I'm the Pod, I'm like, you know what? I'm trading Soto and Snell, and I'm trying to get young guys back in my system.
Yeah, well,
because we tried and we lost last year. This year was a dead. Come on.
Well, did you see what happened last night in the extra innings?
Yes. I remember last night I was on Jimmy's live stream and I cashed at plus 383 for that game to go to extra innings.
Yes, it was bases loaded, nobody out, and Xander Bogaerts is coming up, and he hits a weak comebacker to the pitcher, and then Cronenworth hits a soft flare out to the shortstop, and then Sanchez rolls on. And at no point did it look like they had an approach, because Bogaerts was swinging outside of the zone, and then Cronenworth lets a fastball that's middle high just go right past him. And that's the thing. If you have multiple hitting coaches, you don't have the same voice. You don't have that unified direction. So there's guys that are doing different things up there. All they needed was a sac fly. Like all you need to do, shorten up, get the ball up. And
I'm not telling Xander to shorten up. The guy's pretty good. I expect him. You're back
at this point, though. Yes, at this point, though, you have to tell him to shorten up because he's had zero clutch His
he's just having
RBIs are down.
Like the rest of the team, they've been terrible.
Yeah, and that's what you tell them. Simplify, shorten up, make it a goal that you can achieve. Don't try to do something like hit a 5-run home run. Give yourself something small. Ball to the outfield, ball up the middle, ground ball right side, something that's very simple to do. But these guys consistently go up
that
there.
That ain't sexy, bro. They want that bat flip.
That's why they're 0-10 in extra innings.
Bat flip my sack fly like a son bitch.
Fuck yeah, I'll bat flip that shit too. Like, boom, give me that one.
Give me an idea. If the Padres were a 50% winning team when they go to extra innings, they'd be tied for the wild card right now.
Yeah, and if they won 50% of their one-run games, they'd be in top spot in the wild card. Which is why a lot of the fans out here are like, oh, that's why we should be buying. I'm sitting like, no, that's why we should be selling, because we haven't even come close to having those numbers. Our bullpen will blow a clutch hit, because we'll get that clutch hit, and then the blow pen comes right in and just messes it all up. Or you'll have a situation like last night, bases loaded, and Bogarts is swinging out of the zone. Cronenworth is letting a fastball up go past him. The baseball IQ for this team is horrific. It is terrible. I mean, I am up to 696 reasons why this team has sucked this year.
I love it. I mean, 697. I mean, their colors don't help. It's fucking the runs.
Oh, I'm not a fashionista, so
diarrhea with pinstripes. Come on.
I like the brown though. I like at least having a color. I mean, I don't want to be the blue, like that dark blue crap that we had for the longest time.
I like the old school.
Oh yeah.
Early 80s uniforms.
Yeah, I would be down for the early 80s brown or the pinstripe dark blue.
Can we just go back to the All-Star game where the guys with the regular uniforms on?
Oh, please,
can we get rid of the All-Star game jerseys? Like, just wear your regular home or road jerseys.
I want no more interleague, and bring back All-Star game jerseys.
I like the interleague play.
It's terrible. That's why the All-Star game stinks and nobody wants it. Interleague play is terrible. Go back to let teams play each other.
I'd be fine with getting rid of interleague if you could
Honestly,
have more
I have
rivals
no problem
play.
with the schedule, because I'm totally fine with not having to see the Atlanta Braves 19 times a year.
Well, that's because your team's garbage.
Well, no, you should be playing the Atlanta Braves. I want to see that. That's what I want. I want to see the Giants.
I don't
and Dodgers.
mind 12 games against the Atlanta Braves compared to 19. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
But I'd rather see more of the regional stuff than, all right, we all play each other once. It's like, okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, why are we all playing each other and then we have a World Series?
The fans of Colorado got to see Aaron Judge. Well, turn on ESPN.
Yeah, you can exactly. There's MLB TV. It's called a baseball road trip. You know, go somewhere, go watch them. Like that's what our fathers and grandfathers did. Like, we can do the same thing. We can even do it easier now. So I wouldn't mind getting rid of interleague altogether. I would not mind that at all. But if that is happening, I would much rather see the divisional thing go back
redone. And play in your division team 19 times, 20 times, whatever.
Yeah, make it like 2 divisions or something like that.
I want to play the
old school 2 division. That's the way it used to be.
I want to play all of them.
They had to go 3 though when the Giants and Braves each won like 103, 102 games, and they added the extra division.
Yeah, I get it. I get the reason why, but there's still that I want to have that rivalry, and I want to see the team.
And as a Met fan, these guys up here should go back to like those early 80s, the 84, 85, 86 Mets, whatever, 85, 86, 87, losing. They're like, win 95 games and be like a game behind the Cardinals. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, like, come on, something to be said about that, man. And having a hated rival. These guys would brawl on. They hated each other. Not like, good baseball.
It can be done correctly. I don't.
No interleague.
I have been one of the biggest critics of Rob Manfred and Bud Selig over the last however long they've been doing this.
Well, the Mets and Yanks should play each other all the time. Well, that's not fair to the Mets and Yanks because they always have huge payrolls and are good teams. Like, who gets to play the freaking Pirates? Yeah, that's a nice freaking 3 wins on your belt. I mean, come on.
I think there's a way.
What is that?
Yeah,
it's not
Let's
happening.
go play the A's. Yeah, the A's. That's real tough one. I gotta go. Somebody's got to face the Dodgers. The other team gets to face the A's. Real fair.
Angels get to face the Dodgers, and the San Francisco Giants get to go up against the A's
for 6 games.
My buddy just sent me
whatever it is.
A crazy stat from the deadline for 2013 to 2022. There were 573 prospects traded, And of those prospects, only 17 became impact players. And of those impact players, prospects to become or contributors was 62. So you had 3% that became impact players and 10% that became contributors. And that, yet every deadline, it's all about prospect haul.
Yep. Look at this. I get this good guy. Yeah.
But the return on it is
minimal.
3% and 10%.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. Sometimes I'll be guilty of that. It's like, oh, let me get like all the prospects. Let me get all of them. And it's like, okay, well, how many of them?
Again, though, you're seeing they don't all pan out, right? How many number one picks? Whether we talk NFL, NBA, we could talk, first round picks. How many are turned into superstars? Same thing with baseball. I'm thinking about baseball's even crazier because those guys don't just jump into the NFL or whatever. They go to the minors for a year or two, 3.
Forever.
Seriously.
Is there a sport other than baseball that has their players develop this long?
Hockey,
yeah. Hockey, you
Well,
got
not
different
really.
levels of whatever. I mean, the NFL, you got college. I don't even
rolling
know.
out, guys. I gotta do some
XFL,
dinner.
USFL, whatever. You go college pros.
Good luck, everybody.
Good.
Later, Sean. Yeah, so I don't know. NBA the same way. College, and you're impacting tomorrow in the NBA. I think it's hockey and baseball that develop. But baseball drafts people out of 8th grade. Hell, it's not. Look, bro. The Super Bowl is coming to Vegas. I'm in Vegas. Lions fans. I already told the wife. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I'll make it back from the Super Bowl. Maybe I won't. Maybe you can come. Maybe you can't. You got to buy your own ticket. I'm on my own. And it's going to be whatever. I'll probably end up in Tijuana.
Just for the Lions to miss the playoffs again. But that's beyond the point.
Shut the fuck up. Wait.
The Lions are getting way too much love this year. The Vikings are winning the division again.
That's false.
Go, Pack, go.
Oh, that's even worse. I'll tell you what.
Centrals or the North.
I would rather lose the division to the Vikings than the Packers.
I don't think you get to choose, though.
I think this year we do.
I think the Lions are kind of a trendy little pick, but they're coming too trendy now.
Yeah,
I think the Lions at the end of the season are going to be a bottom 5 ATS team.
Oh, I'm gonna because I just got done with my quarterback thing last night because I've been going through and doing my NFL stuff, and here it is. I'll give Goff credit for being an underappreciated quarterback because you look at some of his metrics. Like you look at his percentage or his expected points per attempt, under 2.5 seconds, no pressure on the run, all that stuff. He ranks really high in a lot of that stuff. Surprisingly, I thought he would have ranked way low. But this is from Warren Sharp. I'm not sure how many of you guys are kind of aware of his analytics that he does with all like the tracking of different statistics. But I got Goff, 15th ranked quarterback, 3rd best offensive line. It's just the skill. Like, are you going to get that truly elite skill production from Gibbs or from oh crap? Why am I blanking on other running back's name?
Montgomery from Chicago Bears.
Yeah, or Montgomery, because it's kind of like, is Gibbs going to be the 3rd down utility type back, or is he going to develop into an every down guy? Is Montgomery going to be more of that kind of old school goal line guy that the Packers tried to do with AJ Dillon? It's going to be very interesting. The huge question is just, all right, what happens on the defense? Front 7 is not great. Hutchinson is fine, but other places it's a huge question mark. And secondary did improve. Is it went from like the dead last worst secondary NFL to now it ranks at least kind of middle of the pack. I got him 22, but still last year it was like a consensus 32.
Mm-hmm. I will say this. I think I say this all the time. You could ask Nick and Tim. Fat guys win Super Bowls, and you hit the 3rd, like you rank 3rd best offensive line.
Yeah,
I think that offensive line is the key there. If you give Jared Goff time, he will pick you apart. He will. He will do good, just like most quarterbacks in the NFL will. He's not going to win you a game per se, but he's not going to lose you one either. That's what I like about him. I think Jabari Gibbs is going to be on the field a lot, not necessarily in the running back spot. I mean, he's a playmaker. You want to give him the ball. He's running more routes, he said, in training camp than he's ever ran in college, ever. And with Ben Johnson's offense, I think that they're going to score. The secondary has gotten better. I don't know how better. Or I mean, they're talking it up. I don't like that everybody talks about the Lions.
Yeah.
I like when everybody says it's the same old Lions. They suck, blah, blah, blah. And then we come in there and punch them in the mouth. But now when we're expected to punch somebody in the mouth, I don't like that. I don't want them to lose that underdog mentality. And I don't think they will, though. That's the thing is Dan Campbell's, he gets a lot of shit for being like a meathead kind of guy, but I think he's smarter than people give him credit for.
Yeah, but I think most of the criticism comes to Jared Goff. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just like you look at. I'm just pulled up Goff's numbers with no pressure, expected points per attempt. Goff 5th in the NFL last year. Only players ahead of him: Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Patrick Mahomes. And you just go across the line. He ranks 5th, 7th, 12th, 2nd, 5th, 6th, all in these stable quarterback metrics that are fairly indicative of how good a quarterback can be. And even under pressure, he was 19th, not terrible. Outside of the pocket, 11th. On play action, he was the 3rd best quarterback on play action. He was the 7th best against the blitz. On 3rd and 4th down, he was the 4th best. I would have lost every single bet if you told me, okay, who was the 4th best quarterback against the blitz? Never would have thought.
Right? Yeah.
I was like, no, he's like bottom 5. But
yeah, I wouldn't have put him in the top 10. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, but then you look at the numbers and it's just like, oh, that's very surprising. And you see Tua and how his numbers came against the Bears, the Lions, and the Browns for most of his success. And that's why a lot of his numbers skew better than Goff, because he was able to accumulate that. But anyway, this is an MLB thing. I get sidetracked with all the NFL.
Nah, that's fair.
Well, the quote unquote hot stove is cold as hell right now because nothing's happening. Nothing. I've not been able to click the breaking news video.
Luis Patino acquired by the White Sox.
Is Patino even pitching? I thought he was injured.
I don't know. I just saw that.
He was playing with Durham.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the bigs.
No, I just want to mention that.
This whole, all the hot stove reporters expect a flurry of moves towards the end of the MLB trade deadline. It's like, oh, okay, well, obviously.
Last year, we all expected the same thing, and it kind of was the same deal. Was there
last year
the last
was
hour?
And that's the result of the extra wild card team. Is more people are willing to buy, less people are willing to sell, and nobody's selling as much. Like all the big pieces that we thought were going to get traded are not getting traded. Cody Bellinger and Marcus Stroman are staying with the Cubs. Like pieces like that, Hader and Snell are staying with the Padres. Like all these players that were supposed to be traded because of this extra wild card are not.
Yeah, and teams that are supposed to be buying, like the Orioles, are not.
Because nobody's selling.
Well,
who do we have to sell from? I'm surprised Scott Barlow is still a Royal. I'm surprised Brent Rooker and Trevor May are still Oakland A's.
Oh,
I mean, who?
Why isn't Oakland selling everything? I mean, I know they don't have a lot to sell.
Oakland doesn't have anything. They
don't have a lot, but they have
Shea Langeliers. Like, who are you trading from Oakland? Trevor May?
I would take Trevor May. I mean, just to get in the bullpen, just another option.
Trevor May, that's a great pickup for anybody, I think.
Listen, you could probably get him for stupid cheap with just
throw a little prospect. You know what I mean? Blue Jays. You need another reliever. Get Trevor May. Get Scott Barlow. Like, there's some players out there still available.
What about Greg Santos on the White Sox staying put, too?
Yeah.
I mean, here's a perfect relief.
Why the hell are they not trading Dylan Cease?
Yeah,
hey,
there's a lot of things.
I hope he never leaves the White Sox because that's the only one that Tigers really would kind of own that sumbitch.
Oh, I love Cease Nerfies. Cease Nerfies are the only Nerfie I ever do now.
Yeah,
that's the only Nerfie I ever play, and it's just because for whatever reason Cease comes out in that first inning and is just lights out, and then you'll start sucking. But I've never seen a pitcher come out and be so dominant in the first inning and then just slowly start to crumble.
Yeah. Also, why the hell have the Pirates not traded David Bednar yet?
Yeah, well, because of the control, it's going to take a lot.
You can get a haul for him. You get control.
Yeah, that's. But if you're talking about like Bednar versus a guy like Santos or May or Barlow, it'd be way easier to get those other options that are, not as flashy and don't exactly have as much control. But if you're really trying to make a splash, if you're really trying to go for it, and if you say you're all in like the Angels have, why are you not doing it? You've already lost most of your capital. Go get Bednar, because the Angels desperately need bullpen help. I think they're still ranked dead last in bullpen. Oh no, they're better. They're better. They're better in bullpen recently. It's not great. 271 average, 4.88 ERA.
The Astros need a little bit of bullpen help.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every team's going to need bullpens. Every team needs bullpen.
But, I mean, some teams like we saw Milwaukee, they picked up a relief. They didn't need it.
But if the Rangers are really going to try and hold the Astros off, like that should be a priority. Because the Astros are always – everybody knows the Astros are coming. You know what I mean? And I don't know if the Rangers –
They're only a half game out. I'm loving it.
And probably maybe not by the end of today.
I don't know. I have the Ranger run line tonight, so I do think the Rangers do come through tonight and beat the White Sox pretty handily.
But
it wouldn't surprise me to see the White Sox win. Wouldn't surprise me. But I do have the Rangers.
I'm on the over.
I couldn't do it. I mean, I'll tell the story.
I didn't get too much today. I didn't want to get too much today because
I had when I woke up this morning and I hopped on. I was going to do all my capping because I like to do it in the morning now. I like to see the line move and all that stuff. So that's just the time I've got now. And I had the first game up for probably 2 hours with just me doing sidebar on Twitter, just going up and down, checking all of it. And at some point, I was just like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to do this cap at all because I have been on the same game now for 2 hours and haven't even come close to even connecting a dot, let alone connecting enough dots to make a play.
Yeah. I made a couple plays. Now looking at it, I have way too many favorites today. But
it's Dogs Day of Summer.
Let's go ahead and add one more dog to our thing. Let's grab Cleveland today. Go Gavin.
Don't do that.
I would like Gavin Williams. I would have liked to back Gavin Williams.
I like my boy Gavin.
Nothing tells me he gets hit tonight.
No,
Astros run line.
I think the Astros win tonight.
Yeah, Gavin, I like what I hear from Gavin Williams, or what I hear from the reporters about Gavin Williams and Bibby out there. I love when I hear that a pitcher will struggle and their first thought is, I need to get in and get the work. It's not like, all right, I'll try again next time. It's like that tenacity. And I think that was almost the word that I heard on the Guardians broadcast, was they're using this tenaciousness with these younger pitchers that seems to be developed within the organization. And they've seen that from Williams. They see that from Bibby, guys that just want the ball even after they suck. They get into their bullpens and they treat it like a game. It's just that.
Well, we saw the same thing with Gavin when he played for ECU. So,
yeah, I love those guys, man. I'm a pitching coach. I'm a pitcher. That's what I love hearing. And when I hear that about young guys at the big league level, I immediately start following.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, that's like character, Yeah, I want that guy.
Yeah, and it sucks when it doesn't work out. Like when Chris Paddock, when that whole fiasco went south. But I when he was up and he was pitching well, dude, I love that mentality. I loved the I'm better than you, prove that you're better than me. I love that mentality from young pitchers. But it didn't work out for him. I hope it does work out for Bibby. I really like that Guardians pitching staff if they can get everybody back and solidify with McKenzie and Bieber and Bibby and Williams and Quantrill. I mean, they've got some young arms that if they just get them together and healthy, that could be a legit World Series contender if they just add a couple of pieces to that lineup.
Yeah,
I don't think it's happening though. They're not the team to spend.
I have Minnesota to win that division.
I don't think I had Cleveland, but I don't think it's happening this year. I'm talking if they can get into some signings this offseason or a trade this offseason and get somebody to help protect Jamaram a little bit more than Naylor does. Because Naylor is great against righties, but if you get a lefty in there, Ramirez has no protection.
Yep.
The Guardians are the best team in that division, I think, for the next couple years, pending any kind of crazy.
But the Twins are the best team in that division this year.
right now. But I think talent-wise, I'm up to down, back to front. The Guardians are the most complete team in that division.
I still think the Twins kind of fuck up here down the stretch.
I don't think they walk away with this division or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
think it's going to
the
come right
Tigers
down
are
to
6.5 games out, and watch them fuck around and find out on accident and be in the race for no apparent reason, just to give me hope for nothing. Just for that. But I'm just, we'll probably finish like 2 games out of first place or something like that. And I don't know how, because we have no reason to. But
yeah, but with
that's how bad that division is. It's injury too. The injury.
Yeah, but if Google's healthy and if there's Eduardo, at least the Tigers have some pieces together with their rotation, and it just be kind of you guys figuring out some of the bullpen pieces that have gone, because it wasn't like last year. For most of the year, Tigers were ranked number 1 in bullpen ERA and WHIP and average against. But a lot of those pieces got traded away. Went to the Phillies. What was his name? Soto went to the Phillies. A couple other pieces left. Chafin ended up going to the Diamondbacks. It's just that, can there be a consistent lineup?
Right.
And Torkelson looks way better now. What's his face? Is it McKinstry? No, not McKinstry. Carpenter. I'm thinking of Carpenter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Carpenter's looked better. He was looking really good in the Giants series. But the Baez signing, like that's
horrible. That's just horrible. I mean,
I've been on his unders.
The Riley Greens, the Matt Verlins, those young guys. I mean, I like the Spencer Torkelson. I don't mind the young guys coming up. That rotation, Tariq Skubal healthy. Rodriguez, obviously, he's never leaving Detroit, apparently. You got your Matt Mannings. Casey Mize ever comes back.
There are pieces there. At least there's you can see like this is going the right direction.
Right.
And can compete with the Guardians and can surpass the Twins. It's just a matter of what happens with the Royals are just going to.
Oh,
we lose left in Mets clubhouse.
Hi 446. Nice to see you again. Boy, do the Mets owners sell a bag of crap to Mets fans. We also got a bunch of.
Are you obsessed with the New York Mets?
Fam has left the Mets clubhouse. Hello,
so bad for that.
Hey, let's see. Are you back now?
Yep.
Yeah. My internet's crappy. You brought up a phone number comment and my shit.
Yeah, it's 446. He's somebody that always we would ban him, but he's like 95% of our comments, so we really can't.
Hey, is he?
We on. We love you, 446. You
annoying as hell.
Fun. You make the days fun. I will say that.
I bet we're repeating in the morning. Davis, I think his last name is Heckel, or it's like whatever. Like, if I have 100 comments, 97 of them are from him, and it's just his plays. Like Miami -2, 745. You need me.
Sure. Yep.
That's what I was
still
like.
Waiting on news from Tommy.
Austin Hedges to the Texas Rangers. Austin Hedges to the Texas
Rangers. Why?
Because
Bochy. Oh, all right. Yep. Bochy saw Hedges when he was with the Giants, so he saw Hedges a lot. So he probably wanted that defensive replacement catcher. But they have Garver. They got Heim.
That doesn't move the needle much for me. That's the trade. That's the trade we've been waiting a half an hour for. Austin Hedges. We're good now. Have a good day, guys.
All right, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications.
Ridiculous.
But that again, it's just like, was that really a need for the Rangers?
No. Are they just making trades to make trades just to look good? I don't.
That kind of
screams a little thirsty for me, like a little desperation. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, so let's just get a bunch of people. But
unless they're trading one of their catchers here in the next few minutes, that deal is extremely confusing because you just traded for a defensive catcher. Hedges does not hit. He could not hit water if he was out in the middle of the ocean in a boat.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I'm just saying.
I just want to bring up this one comment. Stop, Gio. You're correct. I could probably get 1,000 yards behind that Lions offense. I'm quick. Goal line yards.
That's why I say running
backs
backs are the most overrated position in football.
Okay, first of all, don't call me overrated. I'm quick. I'm not fast.
Running backs are overrated. You're not overrated. You're properly rated.
I'm full of yeah. Yeah.
Properly
exactly. Well, I as a Tigers fan, I'm happy with what they did today, or attempted to do today.
They attempted to trade Rodriguez, and he was like, "No, thank you."
Yeah, I mean, at least they tried to get him off the books.
I think he still goes.
He's still
got 28 minutes, and
usually
for an extra 10, 15 minutes after the 6 o'clock number is when we get a lot of,
yeah. It's just got to be in the office by 6. So I mean, by the time it breaks,
we can still get notifications of trades at 6:30.
Yeah, well, you know that as soon as Preller saw that Eduardo wanted to be a Padre, he got on the phone again.
He's on the phone with them right now.
I heard the chick wanted me, so
what's up?
What I got to do here?
How you doing?
Yeah, Gracianos with some Portofino.
Send over some hot dogs. It'd be good.
Right, Dodger Dog Recipe's back.
Dodger Dog Recipe back. World Series.
Big news in Detroit is the Home Depot selling hot dogs again. That's a big news. Home Depot hot dog guy is back. $2 hot dogs, and he's been around. He's been gone since COVID, so that's a big deal. Home Depot hot dog is good.
That's expensive.
Wow.
What, $2 hot dog?
Yeah, I get $1.50 hot dogs at Costco.
Oh, 50-cent difference. Jesus. All right.
Wow, Tim.
Hey, that's a 25% cut.
You know how much Dodger Dog costs?
Like
too much.
$650 or something? Yeah, well, it's like a couple mortgages, and then you have to drop down a loan.
Nick, did you see I tweeted or Facebook? I tagged you in something. Bojangles is coming to Vegas.
Oh, nice. Oh,
and I'm like, I saw it, and I'm like, oh, YouTube knuckleheads always talk about Bojangles. And I'm like, I've never had it. I don't know.
It's good.
Like bootleg fucking Popeyes or what?
No, it's no.
Maybe.
No, it's different. It's good. Now that I know Bojangles will be in Vegas, I can go out and move out to Vegas now. So we're good.
Okay.
My mom giving me a weird look.
Come on, Scott Harris. Pick up the phone.
I swear, I can see how
446.
Don't do that. Don't get me going again. Come on.
Come on now. 446. If you didn't know, Moose is a big Padres fan. You do not need to get him agitated. I know you love pushing our buttons with the Mets, and it really doesn't work anymore because we know they suck. But do not push his buttons with the Padres. Lenny's
you can push buttons
on all the time, but
you can push buttons. It's just like which button is going to send me on a 30-minute
I was going to say
rant.
Padres fans are just like Mets fans.
Don't talk about my Lions either. Same way. When
we've heard it all before.
Lions,
nothing you can say that we've not heard before as fans. Like Padres, Tigers, and Mets.
I love when people tell me my Lions suck after they lose.
Like, shit, Sherlock. We knew that for years.
I'm a 50-year-old, middle-aged man. I've been a Lions fan since June of 1973. And I didn't choose it. People ask me why. Because I was fucking born into this shit. I don't know why. I didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
I blame my parents for making me a Mets fan because I was just born and raised with the Mets.
Yep.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
now I have depression, anxiety.
Right. This is why I drink. This is why I eat. This is why I weed.
Character building. I call it character building.
You guys got nothing on San Diego sports fan. You got nothing.
I will say this: the Tigers beat the Padres in 1984 for the World Series. So that's all I got over the Padres. That's it. That's the only thing I got over them.
We won one game. We at least got that.
I got one.
We got one.
I was at that World Series. I was like 11 years old. I mean, my grandmother and my mother worked.
Yeah, the two-time. Oh, sorry.
Beer stands or whatever. No, but I was just gonna say it was the only World Series I've ever been to.
Yeah, the 2 times the Padres made it to the World Series, they faced one of, or if not, the best assembled teams of all time, with the '84 Tigers and then the '98 Yankees. I mean, those lineups up and down, those rotations, through and through. Those bullpens, front to back, like they were ridiculous.
Lance Parrish, that was my Tiger.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, by the way, Tim, they just posted the Dodger line on BetOnline. I've been spared. They're minus 285. I don't have to bet the Oakland Athletics. There's no minus 300 fade today for me.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and to really drive the point home how bad it is as a Padres or as a San Diego sports fan, having the Chargers break up with you, and in the fashion that they broke up with us.
Fuck you, Spanos.
Dude, oh my God. Like it was a buildup, and then it was the city's not going to do this. And then the city comes out and is like, well, no, the Chargers aren't going to do this. It's like, oh, well, you know what we have to say to that? Bye.
You know what we have to say to that?
From the entire Channel 4 news team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Yeah, literally that. Literally that. They
Literally
said,
that's
go
what they
fuck
sent
yourself,
in
San
return
Diego.
to the email.
Oh yeah, dude. It's the best example I can give you of the Padres having no heart was when Oviedo a week ago, was pitching against us and was drilling guys like left and right. I mean, I think it was like 3 guys got hit and he almost hit another like right up in the face. Not one Padre was up on the step yelling or barking. And I don't know if you guys have played at higher levels, but every time you have a team that like is cohesive and like pulling it, if you see one of your players get thrown at repeatedly, you are on that top step and you are barking. And there was no bark. There's no dog in that dugout. There's just a lot of guys that want to have fun. There's no passion there for playing the game the right way. They don't. I mean, they never bunt. They never do the small things. So yeah, I'm going to limit the rant, but you're right. I'm not. Is that Gio? Yeah, they don't have any bunt. They don't have any heart. They are no heart having bums. They are the Padres, and I'm not afraid to admit it this year because that's the way it was set up with no catcher this year. Tough to go into a season where base running is vitally important, and you really need to have a catcher that can throw runners out, which why probably Hedges was brought into Texas. And you go into the season with Austin Nola and Campusano. So, yeah, we brought this on ourselves. It is a big problem. Big problem.
We got 21 minutes. I'm still waiting to hear Tommy Pham news.
Who are the names we're still waiting on?
Eduardo,
Rodriguez,
Snell,
Tommy
Hader,
Masturbator.
Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt would be a huge name out there right now.
I haven't heard
I don't
squawk
see
from
him
him. I don't think he's going anywhere.
The Cardinals seem to be trading everybody.
Goldschmidt. Why would they not? Why would they?
Because they're stupid.
Okay.
We're waiting
not,
on what?
though. The Cardinals are not
Sorry.
I mean, that's all you have to say.
Nobody's gonna pay for Goldschmidt this year.
I think we might be seeing Colton Wong go soon. Because I saw a post saying that he was leaving the clubhouse. He was leaving the clubhouse giving hugs, Colton Wong. So I think he's a name we might be seeing.
He's gone then.
And
It's just how reliable is that source?
We're on Hug Watch today.
I remember when Austin. I just saw that on Twitter. It was like something like 9 years ago. Austin
Jackson, right?
Yeah, he got called out.
2-2 count. They're like, hold on, time out.
I'm so glad that they don't play games during the trade deadline anymore, so we don't have to see them get pulled halfway through the game.
Yeah, that was harsh.
Or cry on the
They gave him
field.
a standing ovation and shit.
Oh, I remember Wilmer Flores when he thought he was getting traded to the Brewers, and he broke down in tears. Like that was one of the saddest things I've seen in baseball. And then 2 days later, he hits a game-winning home run to jumpstart 2015.
Would it have been awkward if when he comes back into the clubhouse, like, hey guys, I didn't leave. I'm still here.
Right.
Yeah, they tried to trade me.
You know
They
what?
tried.
I said no.
They didn't want me anymore.
They
tried to trade him and Zach Wheeler for Carlos Gomez.
What?
That was the trade where they tried to
What
trade
was
for
it?
Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, right when Gomez was getting bad.
Yeah.
Because he was like kind of struggling that year after having his breakout MVP type year.
Yeah. It's driving me crazy. I keep getting alerts from MLB Underdog, and it's just the lineups for today.
Yeah. I'm just relying on you, and I'm relying on that breaking news update.
Yeah. Look up Samuel Montembeau, Cassian hat.
What?
Why? That's hockey.
Is that some hockey?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can
Samuel
appreciate
Montembeau.
hockey.
Oh, I love hockey.
Yeah, I go to some goals games around here, the minor league affiliate of the Ducks, but it's just like, all right, dollar beer night.
Hell yeah.
Go watch some grown men fight a little bit on some blades that could kill you.
Of course. I mean, I love hockey. Hockey, yeah. We started talking a little bit of hockey last night on the Monday night show with Jimmy the Bag on Pub Sports Radio. We started talking a little hockey last night. It was fun. Started looking at some season win totals or season point totals and stuff along those lines. I'm ready for hockey to start again.
Yeah,
That's my best sport. That's my favorite sport, at least.
All right, I'm looking up.
I love hockey. I'm ready for college football.
Same. Oh, what the fuck is it?
I've been saying that forever, but
oh, you're talking about like the dog in them stop. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, hockey is take it or leave it. I'm not too big of a hockey person or whatever. It is what it is.
As he puts on a Buffalo Sabres jersey.
What? No. 4 for
So
6. We'll bet whatever we
well,
want.
made me get the Red Wings sweater out.
That's fucked up. All right, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so he just drills the goalie and like none of his teammates even like help him out. Like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You just drilled our guy, cheap shot right to the head, and that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I see what you're talking about there. Yeah, dude, I am so ready for college football. I am. That's my favorite. This is my favorite type of
I'm
year.
looking forward to being able to bet something that's not MLB, CFL, or WNBA.
Yeah, I already got some bets in for my futures.
I have bet the Hall of Fame game for the NFL. There's a really simple system that I followed last year in preseason football that made an absolute killing. And actually, the first game of the season here, the Hall of Fame game, falls into that system. When a team opens up as a dog and turns into a favorite, you automatically bet them. Automatically bet it. The Jets opened up as 2.5-point dogs. They're a 1-point favorite. Jets money line.
Yeah, I got you.
Anytime a team opens up like that and moves over, just watch the lines. That's all you got to do.
The Jets, and I'm on a teaser with the Jets and the under.
Yeah, I haven't done week ones yet.
Over there for a solid second, but I didn't have no cojones. I'll be honest with you.
I'm gonna wait until probably a week or two before, just because I have a feeling there's gonna be some crazy injuries this year for whatever reason, just based off what I'm already seeing with Burrow going down, Hamlin going down, Hamler going down. Somebody else got hurt
Browns
today.
off the book.
Ramsey.
49ers.
4-6. You would have a lot more talking to if you actually join more of these live shows in the morning. When you put all your comments in after the show, nobody sees them.
I love how he thinks he comes up with these plays, and meanwhile we give the same plays out like the morning.
I do that to Dave.
Oh yeah, we're going with the so and so. Yeah, I gave that out like 8 hours ago. Good job.
I like doing that to Dave. Hey Dave, are you gonna bet that bet that I bet earlier? Oh, you mean the one I posted about last night? Oh yeah, my bad. I didn't see that. Yeah, the only futures bets that I have, or the only futures bets I have, are all in college football. My 2 full unit, the ones that I love the best, and I'm not gonna have another full unit play. Every other bet is gonna be a half a unit, but the full unit ones: UTEP over, Boston College over. Love those overs. I think those are the best ones on the board.
I was looking at a couple futures and stuff like that, just for some long shots. For some conference winners and things along those lines. Like I was looking at, I think the 3 that were my favorite were Wisconsin, North Carolina, and Wyoming. Wyoming.
Okay. I think I got Wyoming. I think I'm on the Wyoming one. Let me check real quick.
Memphis.
I can see
Memphis.
definitely. Yeah.
I'll bring up my shit.
We do like we did the American today, right? AAC.
Yes.
That's what we did. Yeah, you like that? I don't hate the Wyoming Kyle.
I'm not on it.
I don't hate them out of there, but
I'm on Nevada there in the Mountain West. That's the only team I got in Mountain West. Oh, and Air Force. I love Air Force. Air Force returning like all their guys, a big offensive line. Like one of the rare times that the Service Academy is returning large linemen because they made that rule that you're allowed to be bigger now in the Service Academy. And they're also returning a significant amount of their defense, a defense that was ranked in the top 5 of percentage tackled, like, or first contact tackle, I should say. So, I love Air Force here. The only under I have, I think, is every bet I have is an over for the most part. Actually, I have 2 unders. I have Cincinnati under 5.5, and I took BYU under 5.5.
Both moving to the Big 12. I can see it.
Yeah, and BYU.
I want more unders in the NFL, I think.
I would like to be on unders in the NFL. Generally,
I like the Bengals under 11.5. We were talking about that a while ago.
There's no 11.
There's no way I'm betting that now because Burrow decided to get hurt before I can bet it.
You wouldn't be able to bet it. I think it's 10 now. If I saw it correctly the other night, because I was kind of like, I wonder what it's at now.
Tommy Pham is an Arizona Diamondback. Tommy Pham to the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Have fun in Arizona, you stab motherfucker.
Enjoy.
Yeah, he'll get stabbed there for sure.
The thing is, I like the Diamondbacks, so I'm okay with that.
Oh, it's just his personality.
Who did they get in return? So probably some bullshit prospect, but
I don't think his personality is going to do well in Arizona.
I think it would do fine.
Well, he's a pretty intense person. And that's a pretty lax clubhouse. I mean, if you remember Christian Walker, doing the mock clapping for the umpire, they have all those young guys and they play like football in the outfield and stuff before games. So I don't know.
You were not close. 446. You said Yankees. He went to the opposite side of the United States. You were not close.
Yeah, New York and Arizona is the opposite you could get.
But nice try.
I guess Idaho would be the opposite of New York? The exact opposite. Nebraska?
Mexico?
No, just like something that's like flat and there's like nothing there.
Just like
the
Montana?
opposite.
Oh,
You can take it geographically.
Utah?
Montana?
Oh, Utah is a good one.
Utah.
Yeah,
Mormons.
Utah. I think Utah.
Those Mormons, party different though.
And Italians and Mormons.
Those Utah people party different.
Yeah, with Bibles, I hear.
Yeah, thumping.
Yeah. All right, who wants to read the next psalm?
I think, by the way, the Mac. Maction action.
Yeah, my entire cap on. Yeah. How good is O'Rourke? How good is he? Is he good enough to just be consistent every game, or is he going to be more what we saw last year?
They need him to be his brother,
right?
Yeah,
I think the Mac is the simple cap for me. It's Toledo, and then who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
Ohio
Eastern Michigan is garbage.
Well, Central Michigan could be cool. Central Michigan could be cool, but
Chippewas.
But
Chippewas are not anybody. Chippewas are going to be a covering machine this year.
But that's what we said last year. Like I said, the same thing with.
Yeah, right.
Who was their running back last year? They're big. Who had all the braids.
The White Sox. We already mentioned that earlier.
It was like people. That wasn't Peoples. It was a good, really good running back, and he had a good game coming out the gates against Oklahoma State. I think it starts with last name started with a P. It was like. But anyways,
from Ken Rosenthal, Orioles are closing in on acquiring Jack Flaherty from the Cardinals.
Okay.
Gross.
Okay. Hey,
that could be interesting. Come on, Orioles.
They need that.
There's your ace.
That'd be if they could get that and Eduardo. That's done. Perfect. Awesome.
Yeah. Then they're a lock to win the division.
I don't hate that for them. Them, that's not. I mean, if you're not rooting for the Orioles, it's not good. But
I would like them not to do anything. I would like them to sit on their hands.
I know you're scared of the Orioles. That's fine.
No, the Orioles are just messing up my futures. That's what they're doing.
Fuckers.
Oh, I laugh. Yeah, you were anti-Orioles, right? Beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that discussion. I was all over the Orioles beginning of the year.
Yeah, the
Well,
Orioles
their
are
pitching was
finalizing
a
a
huge
deal with
question
the
mark for
Cardinals.
me.
I
Kyle
was
Gibson.
fine with it. I said, hey, it'll be fine. It'll be good enough. And that's exactly what they've been. I haven't gotten like a ton of things right with my futures. I mean, I already pointed out my Cardinals and how wrong I was on that.
I didn't bet them preseason, but
I was on the Mets over as well.
Yeah, we don't need to hear about the Mets. That's fine.
Yeah.
I hear enough about that team.
All my stolen base ones, except for Tatis, who's not running for some reason, one of the fastest players in the league, not being told to run. I'm gonna put that to the tally. Reason not 698 of why the Padres are horrific. So just add that to the tally. And every other stolen base prop I have is cashed or is like 1 or 2 away. Every one of them, all like 6 or 7 of them, except the Tatis one, who 697 is not running.
So far, there's only been one team in the MLB that has not made a trade during this deadline.
Kansas City Royals.
No,
Nope.
they made a trade.
They traded Nick Prado, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Was it the Twins?
And Nicky Lopez.
No, the Twins. Twins got, or I know the Twins have been involved in something.
Only one?
There's one team that has not been involved in a trade.
What is it, the Yankees?
Yep, the New York Yankees.
The Yankees.
That's fucking.
Yeah,
surprising.
the Yankees.
I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
I don't know
put
what the
some
Yankees are
respect-
supposed to
Hey,
be.
put some respect on their name. The last place Yankees.
Last place, New York
Last
Yankees.
place.
I got that under.
They're over. They're such a disappointment.
I feel good about that one. Not a lot I feel good about, but or actually the ones 50-50, to be honest.
I could probably break even on my futures if I can get the Orioles to win the division and then Blake Snell, Cy Young. Or Zach Allen, Cy Young, either one.
I had a Orioles to make the playoffs at plus.
I had Orioles to make the playoffs too, plus like 375.
Oh, you got a 375? Shit, I had like it plus 300, I think.
Something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Still, it feels good. Good. That is surprising, though. The Yankees haven't made one deal. They were.
You love when a future bet cashes.
I'm surprised they haven't sold anybody yet.
I think
Yeah,
my favorite
Bader
futures
or-
bet I have right now going is the Royals under 69.5 wins. I think that's going pretty good.
Yeah. I think I got a Rockies one.
I think I made the best bet though of the entire futures market. I took the Oakland Athletics over their win total at 59.5.
Why?
Halfway there. They're at 30.
I'll be honest. The
Not
best
even close.
bet,
They are at 30.
the best bet in the.
Sometimes you're like, you make these futures and like halfway through the season, you're like, what
Oh shit!
the fuck was
Yeah,
that?
there was
Yeah.
3 teams. Yeah, that halfway through the season, I was like, oh shit.
Whoops.
The Rangers under, the Orioles under, and the Athletics
Under
over.
too.
I'm
Yeah, I
like,
was on
fuck
Rangers
this.
under.
And the
I was on
Yankees are
Rangers
bad
under.
too, and I had their over.
Did anybody have the White Sox to win the division?
Nope. I
had
said
their
they were
under.
going to be terrible this year.
I had
said
under.
they were going to be terrible this year.
I had the white. I
But
thought the White
on the
Sox
flip
were gonna
side,
win the division.
I got the Rays over. I got the Twins over.
I had Twins
I got
under.
the Royals under. So I've got a couple good ones. I have Rays plus 350 to win the division from preseason. I got the Twins plus 185, I think, to win the division. So we'll see.
446. The San Diego guy is Moose. It's Moose.
Mm.
San Diego guy.
What I
Yeah, he
said
has been
about
awful.
Bogarts earlier, he's been awful.
Zero clutch.
For nothing.
And he has a wrist injury and he's had it, and Preller knew about it and still signed him. And he has hit into the most ground ball double play, or sorry, not ground ball double plays. He's hit into the most double plays in the National League this year, 14 of them. And you know what causes you to roll over on a ball? When you have a fucked up wrist. If you have a bad wrist, you're way more likely to roll over on that ball and create downward spin on it. And now you are, and because he's not exactly the fastest guy, He has been a prime candidate for double plays. In fact, the Padres as a whole team grounds into double plays. I believe they are in the top 5 of double plays in MLB this year. But why he has not gotten a surgery is beyond me, especially when you are literally seeing his performance match what the injury is. Frustrating. Frustrating.
Because the Padres don't think they're out yet, so.
Yeah, well, they've been out for a minute. They've been out for a minute.
By the way, they didn't designate. They didn't trade Colton Wong. They DFA'd him.
Oh, they DFA'd him.
Oh, sucks.
Wow.
The Red Sox are interested in him.
The Mets, in exchange for Tommy Pham, are getting 17-year-old shortstop Jeremy Rodriguez.
Okay.
I mean, that's a crapshoot. I mean, I know it is on most of these prospects, but
whoa! The Yankees just made a move. They are acquiring right-handed reliever Keenan Middleton from the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, who gives a fuck?
Absolutely, who gives a fuck about that?
Well, now every team's made a move.
I'll be right back. I need something to drink.
Have fun.
This trade deadline has been...
Who really? Yeah. What?
Middleton's been okay there this year. He's been at times. He's been good.
Oh, okay. Jeremy Rodriguez. Let's go look him up. Oh, he's currently playing in the Dominican Summer League.
Yes,
That's who we got?
Yep. Well, keep in mind, Tommy Pham is a pending free agent this year. We signed him to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, Middleton can be usable, especially since Robertson's gone. And
Middleton's to the Yankees.
Oh, to the Yankees. I'm sorry, not Robertson. Yeah, sorry. Started acting like he was going to the Mets, the meat sweats.
So the Mets traded Scherzer, Verlander, Pham, and Kana, and Robertson. They traded the players they needed to.
Yeah, you guys did your job. You did exactly what you're supposed to.
I give the Mets an A. I mean, they did what they needed to do. They didn't go out and be stupid and try to trade for more players when they're down really far like other teams.
You didn't really get like a huge.
No, my bad, not an A, but I mean, they did what they needed to do.
I think you guys got a solid B. Take it to the bank.
And it sets us up perfectly to sign some big free agents in the offseason.
Yeah, that's how I think that's how you kind of that's a good way to potentially kind of end everything is just grading how these teams did with their deals. As you look at if you just go from the AL West, the Mariners D, they were not able to unload Teoscar Hernandez. They're still holding on to that contract. They were not able to get rid of any of the pieces that they said they wanted to get rid of, and they weren't able to add anything to do a run. So one of those teams
what are the Mariners? Well, the Mariners traded away Seawald.
They did trade away Seawald. They did. Fair enough. But was that one of the names that they were trying to get rid of? I don't think that was.
It's 5:00 somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's 6. It's a minute until the deadline, and we've had a very quiet deadline.
It's been a fairly quiet one. Fairly quiet. Nothing crazy. I think there's gonna be a lot of bad grades coming off of this. I think the Angels will get probably I'd give them a C+, B-.
Do you guys put a lot of stock into those grades? I mean, like I kind of try and stay away from that stuff. Like I like, especially like football when training.
Honestly,
like,
who the hell
drafts? I don't want to see none of that shit because I don't want outside influence. I want to grade my own way. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm doing.
I've seen people give F's to guys who went on to be
you know what I mean?
Hall of Fame players.
In my opinion, maybe it's a better way to say it that way, phrase it that way, preface that way. In my opinion, I think
who won the deadline?
Who won the deadline is a good one.
Who didn't lose?
No, like as much as it sucks to say, I think the Texas Rangers won the deadline.
No,
but they didn't address their biggest.
That's
they
it.
didn't address but keep in mind before the deadline they got a Aroldis Chapman, they got Max Scherzer, they got Jordan Montgomery, they got. I feel like they got one or two more players.
They just got Hedges.
They're all in for sure. Like
Chapman. Did you say Chapman?
Think Toronto did really well. I like the D Young adding. I like the Hicks adding.
The Dodgers did pretty well.
Who'd they get?
Rosario, Hernandez, Lynn, Lopez. Things that
Rodriguez.
They didn't need a lot, and they didn't spend a lot, and they didn't lose anything. So I don't think that Kike Hernandez and Almeida Rosario are great.
It's official. Jack Flaherty is a Baltimore Oriole in exchange for Cesar Prieto and Drew Rom.
Okay. Hey, that's a good one. That helped. The Orioles got what
the Orioles got better.
They got better.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think they needed one more, though. I don't think Flaherty is enough. If they got him
Flaherty
and
is very
Eduardo,
miss too. He's
been way better recently.
Slightly above average.
He's been way better. I mean, it's all about spin rate with Flaherty. It's all about spin rate. If he's able to get that velocity and spin rate on his fastball and his breaking stuff, he's legit. He's a bona fide ace. It's just
all right. We got another trade. Not a huge one, so I'm not going to click the button. Phillies get Rodolfo Castro in exchange for Bailey Falter.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Falter. Oh, okay. Yeah.
What do you freaking do? Guys, see why I didn't click the button for it?
Yeah.
It didn't need the button.
Underwhelming.
Real quick, pulling up the players that are going to the Cardinals in that Flaherty trade. Cesar Prieto is a right-handed thrower, left-handed batting shortstop. He's 24 years old, out of Cuba, born in 99. He was batting 349 this year and 335 at bats, 117 hits, 6 homers, 49 RBIs. He looks like a stud in the Norfolk Tides. He should be up this year.
Oh, he's a AAA guy.
Yeah, he was a AAA guy for the Orioles, so that's a nice pickup for them. And then Drew Rom, another guy born in 99, a week after we were born, Nick. He was in 2018. He was the 4th round pick, 115th overall out of Highlands, Fort Thomas, Kentucky. It's a high school. This year, he was 7-6 with a 5.34 ERA in 19 games, 86 innings, 100 strikeouts with a 1.7 WHIP overall in his minor league career. Go away, you stupid ad. 32-15, 3.79 ERA in 99 starts. Or 99 games, 87 starts, 1 save, 339 innings pitched, 514 strikeouts, 1.33 WHIP. So he looked halfway decent as well. And both the players that went to the Cardinals were AAA people.
Dominic Leone to the LA Angels. Okay.
Yeah, I think the Angels did all right. I mean, I don't think they did the right moves. I don't think they were smart about it.
I wonder who the Mets are going to get in exchange. Leone's pitched a lot for the Mets this year.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the right moves, but what they did, they at least, addressed the needs.
We're starting to get some more trades in now after the deadline.
Good. I mean, this has been a
dud. This show has been a dud.
Yeah. It's been tough, especially when you thought there were going to be teams that were making moves and some moves that you had in your head.
Splashes. Right. Yeah. I really thought there was going to be
when you thought Baltimore was going to make some moves and all they got was Flaherty.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean,
they got better, but it's not the sexy.
It's not moving the needle for me though. Like he's. I mean, that's a very Orioles move. He's a slightly above average pitcher.
If it comes in that they got Eduardo Rodriguez or Cease or somebody, I'll be like, all right, there you go. There's your clear winner of the trade deadline. The Orioles got exactly what they needed.
Cease is staying.
It's not happening.
It's
not happening. Yeah. I don't think there's a clear winner here. I don't think there's going to be a clear winner of this deadline. I think there's people that I think the best way to phrase it, I don't know if who it was that said it, is basically who didn't make themselves worse during this time.
Who didn't lose?
Yeah, who didn't lose?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think there's more teams that you look at and you go, oh, what were they thinking? Like the Mariners. I think the Mariners. This is a loss. I think the Padres could be one of the best cases for a loss, given all the assets they had and didn't do anything, and instead created potential roster turmoil. I mean, cool. They got 2 Koreans now that are well beloved in their country. That's fantastic. That's going to bode well for the opening day in Korea next year, or opening week, or whatever it is in Korea. That's cool. Awesome. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they did it so they could have a lot of Korean baseball fans over there. But there's not a lot of teams.
That was the
that you look
goal.
at.
Accomplished.
Yeah, there you go. Check that one
check
off.
mark. Yeah.
But come on, there's not a lot of teams that did a lot this year. Even you can even look at the Astros. Is Verlander worth that price?
No. They traded 2 of their top 4 prospects for a guy that they could have signed during the free agency.
And I'm gonna put on a bias question here because I'm interested in, did the Mets really get that much worse?
I don't think they got. Listen, so I think they've admitted they made a mistake,
Yeah, that's huge.
and that's a tough pill to swallow as a Mets fan, I'm sure. But it didn't work. Now the repercussions of that is
did trading
probably a
Verlander
year.
and Scherzer make them worse?
Well, I mean, huh?
No,
Did
it doesn't
trading
make them
Verlander
worse.
and Scherzer make them that much worse?
No, I mean it's admitting you've tried something, it didn't work. You got to get rid of that money, get rid of that, and sooner or
And
later.
this is why I'm fine with them signing those 2 guys instead of having DeGrom in a 5-year deal right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys didn't win much, but you didn't lose. And you're giving your guys ability to do something down the road because you're doing what some teams aren't, which is acknowledging that there was a mistake or acknowledging and taking the L. I would love for the Padres to acknowledge and take the L and just get rid of Carpenter. Be like, whoops, that was a bad signing. We got to move on.
Right.
All right. We traded away a lot of assets for Soto, and we might need to replenish those. Let's go try to get a haul and set ourselves up with the core that we did invest in. So at least you guys made that decision.
I mean, it took the Tigers years to get rid of Al Avila, general manager there, and he just kept pumping shit into that system and shit in, shit out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it is what it is, you know, I mean, but yeah, I mean, overall, I think the Mets got better, big picture, but short term, whatever you chalk
One of the key steps to getting better and improving is acknowledging when you make a mistake. And how many organizations have you seen in the last 10, 15, 20 years actually treat their mistakes or address their mistakes and then make an adjustment? Because usually what will happen is they'll wait for the season to end and then they'll do all their adjustments. Instead of being like, all right, let's get the ball rolling. There's high value here. Let's go cash in on some of these. Let's get rid of some of the things.
No, we lost him again.
You lost him again.
I agree with everything you're saying, though.
Yeah,
but,
at least they didn't burn everything down. They didn't trade.
General managers, they hold on to that philosophy. They made a decision, and then they're going to live and die by it, and they'll ride it out forever and ever. And sometimes you just got to be like, you got to cut loss. You got to cut bait and just move on. Like, And
here we got 446 rooting for injuries and can't spell getting or jinxed right. Good job. Right, Jinx is spelled with a Y, right?
I don't think so.
No, that's spelled correctly.
I think that's actually correct.
I'm an idiot.
Jinx is spelled correctly. I don't know math,
fan.
but I know words.
Mets fan, public school. What do you want me to tell you?
What was the other word you were upset about here?
Getting. He spelled getting wrong. There you go.
Rogers.
That's right, too. There's only one T in there.
Okay, first of all, put some respect on Karen's name.
Yeah, it's like, come on. Like, we're really critiquing people in their single letter mistakes here.
Yes, it's 446. I'm allowed to.
Hey, that's ducking crazy.
I know, right?
I text Tim today. We had to do a preview for the AAC. I'll hold my beer.
Miami Marlins made another move for another power bat. Josh Bell is a Miami Marlin. Josh Bell to the Miami Marlins.
Josh Wet Fart Bell.
Are you still playing? I forgot.
He had a good run there for a little bit.
Still in the league.
I mean, he's a switch hitter that only hits from the left side.
Thought I'd share that one there.
That's fair.
Two seasons in a row traded at the deadline. Josh Bell,
impact player.
No, but legitimately speaking, I'm kind of want to look at what the number is for this. Just hear me out on this one.
Well, you guys remember?
I joked around about it during this stream a couple times, but if you want to actually make movement on it, 33-1 for the for the Miami Marlins to win the National League. 33-1, Miami Marlins win the National League. I feel like sprinkling a little bit on that. Because would we be surprised? South Beach teams love squeaking into the playoffs and then losing in the finals.
Well, you remember last year when Josh Bell hit the home run and didn't even realize he hit the home run in the playoffs against the Phillies? He hits the ball and is like, "Where the hell is it?" And is like going over the fence.
The Guardians in that trade are getting Juan Segura and Khalil Watson.
They're getting Gene Segura, really?
Yeah,
that's a good deal for the Guardians.
That's a what? That's a weird.
That's a really good deal for the Guardians.
That's an interesting trade.
Yeah,
Segura was. I feel like Segura was just like a bench player on.
Well, Segura was not playing well this year.
No, so not a bad move. I don't know Khalil Watson, but interesting.
I mean, Segura can still hit it.
One game out of first, battling in a horrible division, making moves.
Come on, go win that division there, Guardians.
That's fair.
Or Twins win that division.
No. I don't need that. I don't need any of that.
I like Minnehaha, but that's just
you guys can argue about who's going to finish in second place all you want, but
we
know the big D.
And honestly, when it comes to the playoffs, no team is scared of the Yankees other than the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, the Twins hate seeing the Yankees in the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah. Nobody's scared of the Yankees other than.
Have they even won a game against them?
No.
Yeah, the Twins have never beat the Yankees in the playoffs, right?
Nope.
And neither have the Mariners?
I don't know about that one.
This is the Mariners. Remember, the Mariners got swept that season where they set the record for the franchise wins?
Yeah.
And then the New York came in and just swept them? That's
crazy.
There better be some substantial trade here. Like, this feels like the bluest of blue balls.
Me too. I hope I lose all my bets tonight. Thank you, 446.
No, you don't.
I barely bet anything.
Just say that
I hope I lose every single bet.
Don't put that shit in the universe.
Take 446.
The Marlins continue making moves, but they get Ryan Weathers.
Thank God!
In exchange for Sean Reynolds and Garrett Cooper. Garrett Cooper is a San Diego Padre.
Okay. All right.
How's your thoughts on that one, Mr. Padre?
I mean, Cooper's been fine this year at times, but he's nothing substantial. I don't know why we're getting non-bullpen pieces.
I don't know what we're doing, but we'll take it.
I just saw Cooper play last night, and his swing is fine. Like, I don't have much of a problem with it, but it's a right-handed bat. We needed a lefty, not a righty. This year, 256 average, 426 slug, 722 OPS, fantastic. Love all that stuff. Great numbers against lefties. 348 average, 485 slug, 871 OPS. Love all that. But he's not a fucking lefty. Why do we really think
that he's good?
Like Choi is not the answer to the left-handed bat off the bench. I can go through his numbers again. 245 average against right-handed pitching. 224 average versus right-handed pitching this year. 223 average versus right-handed pitching last year. All players that have come to San Diego have immediately seen power regression across the board. And that's the only thing he has to offer. So this Garrett Cooper thing is kind of like cool, but how the fuck does this fit in? Why is Preller making trades for people that we have no need for?
Yeah. And by the way, in that trade for Dominic Leone, the New York Mets got Jeremiah Jackson, a second base shortstop prospect that was according to MLB.com, number 9 in the Angels farm system, which Angels farm system's, I think, the worst in baseball, if not bottom 5. So number 9 and one of the worst prospects. Not a bad acquisition for Dominic Leone. He's currently Jackson's currently playing with one of my favorite names of any minor league team. He's playing with the Rocket City Trash Pandas right now in Double-A.
Well, I mean, still a super disappointing trade deadline.
It really was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping something comes in.
We're trying to get a couple things in here, but I mean, crap. Like, I mean, it's been barely anything.
Yeah, that
Dylan
Cooper,
Cease was not traded. Scott Barlow was not traded. Like,
no Eduardo Rodriguez, no Snell, no Goldschmidt.
Why did
no,
they trade him? Eduardo, anyway.
yeah, I mean, Rooker wasn't traded. I'm surprised they didn't trade Brent Rooker. No Goldschmidt. No Gallegos. I mean, there's a couple guys that, I mean, Bednar wasn't traded.
Yeah, that's kind of a surprising one. Yeah, dude, I don't. Padres Twitter is so fucking stupid sometimes. I swear.
I try to stay off Tiger Twitter.
I can't help it.
Because right now they're all excited about Eduardo Rodriguez, the man of the people. That's what they're calling him. Like, he didn't stay in Detroit and not go to LA because he's a fan of the people or the city. He's not staying there because, you know, he likes the weather. Okay, like Detroit fans, if you're watching this, I mean, all two of you, there's nobody stays because they're like, you know what, the weather in Detroit's awesome. I'm not moving to LA.
Right.
Like, nobody's doing that. Like, he's not a man of the people. He just doesn't want to go to LA.
No, something about the organization. He doesn't want to be a Dodger.
I wonder if he thinks he would be put in the bullpen.
With him wanting to stay in Detroit, he just wants to not go to LA.
But he wants to go to San Diego. That's weird.
It's got to be somebody in the organization or something.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to play with somebody or what, I don't know what, but yeah, he wants to go to San Diego, but he doesn't want to go to LA. Like, I mean, you know, it's not.
Okay. 446, I really don't understand you sometimes. He's saying
about Nicky, good movie.
I think 446 has rooted for every single team this year. He's called it my Braves, my Yankees, my Mets, my this, my that.
The Dodgers have gotten a left-handed pitcher. Ryan Yarbrough is a Dodger. Ryan Yarbrough is a Dodger.
What's wrong with him?
How does Ryan feel about being their second choice?
Right.
After following Twitter and going,
what's wrong with Ryan Yarbrough?
Nothing. He's actually not been bad this year.
He's fine.
No, didn't he just get traded from Tampa Bay? Or was he on somewhere else?
Red Sox making a move. Luis Urias to the Red Sox. Luis Urias to the Red Sox.
Okay.
Luis Urias? Is that a Baltimore guy?
No, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Oh, sorry. There's so many Uriases.
Yeah, he was the Grisham guy.
Now we're starting to get some moves. Nothing crazy, but we're getting starting to get something.
Still, I'd like to see a little bit more. Maybe the Garrett Cooper trade was decent. Like, you know, Cooper's the actual name. Wasn't he an all-star last year?
Yeah, something like that.
Was he?
Last year, maybe 270 average versus righties, 438 slug, had like 300 at bats, 79. I don't think so. I might be thinking of somebody else. Maybe it was a year ago, 2 years ago. I mean, that's a decent enough name. I'll take that. Luis Urias. That's a decent enough name.
I don't see anything on the MLB thing, but according to something, the Mets are acquiring left-handed pitcher Adam Kolarek and right-handed pitcher Bill Bickford from the Dodgers for cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bickford. Yeah, he's one of their relievers that has been touched up a lot recently.
Oh, okay, fantastic, cool.
This
Is he one of their top prospects though?
This is an interesting tweet. You can get the AL West to win the World Series at plus 350. Any team from the AL West.
I would just take the Astros. I don't see the Rangers winning the World Series. I don't see the Angels. I don't see the Mariners. Maybe the Athletics. Maybe.
I mean, DraftKings tweeted it, so it's like, you know, they're enticing you.
Can I say? I'll say as a Mets fan, the toughest thing to see go was Katie Upton. It's gonna be really hard to say goodbye to that. It was a great 5
Michigan. That's Michigan, corn-fed Midwestern.
That's probably the worst.
Yeah, she's apparently like super, super chill too. Like a person, like you're like, you are not supposed to look like that and be that awesome. Like it's not allowed.
Right.
Because every person's just gonna fall in love
We
with her.
loved her having her in Detroit when they first got together and stuff.
Oh, I bet.
She'd be showing up at games like randomly, and and he'd be like, "Oh,"
and she'd always be shown talking like to actual, like turning around, like, "Hey, hey," like actually like engaging with them. My buddy is my buddy used to be a bartender. I'm not sure if he's there anymore at a bar over here in like this Del Mar area, which is a more popular area. A lot of players will go there to kind of hang out and relax.
That area.
Yeah, it's a badass area. Jimmy's, if that sounds familiar.
I'm an Oceanside guy. I like going when we vacation. I go to Oceanside.
I coached at Oceanside High School.
It's 4 or 5 hours away, whatever.
Yeah,
Oceanside's my place.
Yep, I was a coach. I used to teach over there as well, Oceanside High School. So that's my jam. But anyways,
that's my retired place. If I gotta go somewhere, that's where I'm going.
It's a cool area. It's getting revamped. Yeah. But my bartender buddy said that Verlander and Upton would come in there quite a bit. Kate Upton would come in there quite a bit, especially during the All-Star break when they were out here, or during All-Star breaks when they'd hang out here in Del Mar. And he'd say like Kate would be the coolest person. Like she'd like make jokes with you. She would like strike up conversations with you. Like she would be just like a genuine good person. And like to the point that you would start falling in love with her, like right there on the spot. He said like when she left, like he literally was like his heart was starting to like, oh man.
Like she's not supposed to be that naturally pretty.
Yeah, and be that awesome.
And you can carry on a conversation with her and have a beer. So like when she's whatever,
Yeah, so when she's leaving, he's like, I was literally legitimately getting heartbroken. I was like, oh crap, when am I going to see her again? Like I want to talk to her. Like is it cool if I get her number? And it's like, dude, she's married to Justin Verlander.
Yeah,
you have no shot.
Good luck with that one there.
Yeah, you have no shot.
Yeah, but we're gonna wrap up the show here in a minute. We've been live for a little over 3.5 hours. The trade deadline has come and passed, and we've probably seen all the trades. If there's anything else, they're going to be little minor bullshit ones. So we're gonna wrap it up here. I guess I have to wait for Tim to get back on camera, but no, we're gonna be wrapping it up here soon. I guess we'll go around the horn here. Where can we find you? There we go. We finally got it. Scott Barlow has been traded, and you're gonna be happy about this one.
He's the Padres.
Going to the Padres.
Finally, god damn, we actually did something right. All right.
So Scott Barlow, we're gonna end on that. Scott Barlow is a San Diego Padre. And we'll go to Moose here first. Let us know where we can find you and all that good stuff. Oh, wrong one. I don't know why I did that.
Bye.
Yeah. There we go. I moved you to the spot.
Wow.
There.
Scott Barlow to the Padres?
Yeah.
Let me just here we go. All right. There we go. Now we're a little bit better now. Now I can show this. You guys can find me on Twitter at Moose Money Bets. It's the only social media I got. Not a huge social media guy, but I am active. I am responsive on Twitter at Moose Money Bets. I got some college football futures coming up, and you can always find some MLB bets from me. Moose loves betting. Moose loves baseball.
All right, Moose. We'll head over to our next guy here, Mr. Detroit Lenny.
I'm everywhere and anywhere. I'm with these two knuckleheads, Tim and Nick, randomly. Pick some parlays. If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
All right. Tim, where can we find? I'm just kidding. It's our channel.
You can probably 5 days a week find me and him.
For the next season, I'm already ready to go. Got my Jets ready and ready for them to disappoint me like the Mets do. I'm hurting inside. I'm depressed. It is what it is. At least I got my Nuggets championship. So
yeah, don't get greedy. Right. Don't get greedy, bro.
But that's been the trade deadline show. Thank you guys all for watching. Normal schedule programming tomorrow morning. We didn't do the morning show this morning because we didn't know who the hell was going to be traded, and we knew we were going to be live later. We didn't give out any plays today. I do have plays. I post them up on my Cappit. Links in the description or links in the description of my videos. If you want my full card there. But other than that, that's it for everything.
Maybe a poker stream tonight. We'll see.
Okay. But that is going to be all for this one. Thank you guys always for watching. We'll catch you next time.